So spells per day.
Correct.
Normally you would get.
I get +1 bonus spell per day.
Yeah, so you should be able to cast 3 level 1 spells per day.
Yep. And so did you pick?
Do you know how many you get to cast per day?
So you pick days.
3 and 4.
Okay. Then here are your
Well, that's
level
3
1
and
spells. You get to
infinite,
pick 2.
Yeah.
From this list.
Is it really infinite?
Level 0 spells don't cost anything. That's why they're all low level, very minor effect spells. They don't
the one
take
that
any
kills you,
energy
I
to
think.
accomplish.
Okay.
But as a technomancer, yeah, normally you would cast
Figure
2
out,
spells
like,
per day. What's
very
your
specific.
int score?
18.
18.
And
So
you
yeah,
figure
so
out
it's
per
3
day an
level 1
agile
spells
mouse?
per day. Great.
I rattled off like.
Okay, so you got your
6 or 7 that I was
spells.
choosing.
I think I'm gonna
You
do-
know that as a level
I
1
think I'm
technomancer,
gonna
you
I'm
have
gonna
a
be really
spell
boring
cache.
and do long arm proficiency.
Yes, so that means
but I
that
get an
I
extra
have
feat.
an object, so I think I was going to
Wait,
go
really?
with
Two
a, like a,
I have
I
a
I have
left
4
foot.
feet.
And
little
a right
lens or
foot.
something.
Yeah,
Why did I get
absolutely.
4 feet?
Actually, no, I'm going to
So
go
yeah,
with a
definitely
floating
taking long arm proficiency.
pyramid thing.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
But it has to be, does it have
Am
to
I
be
gonna need
attached
a
to
mouse
it?
with a gun?
It should be something you're hanging on
I'm gonna need a
to.
mouse with a gun.
I mean, it's better if it's something you're wearing,
Okay,
so you don't
rocket.
have to occupy a hand with it.
That makes
Okay,
sense,
rocket.
that makes sense.
But yeah, it's basically an item that you have stored
I'll do
magical
heavy
energy
arms.
in, and
Alright.
it lets you cast 1 extra
Nice.
spell a day of any level. So at your level, it's an
Flying the
extra
opposite
level 1
direction.
spell per
Okay,
day.
I'm
It's
gonna,
like
there'll be
myself.
magical
Sorry,
glasses.
Nice, I dig it, I dig it. Okay, so you've picked
I
your
initially
spells at
thought of
this point?
playing. Of, like, trying to do a
Yes, I've got my
double
spells.
character.
So I
Great.
picked,
Have you picked
Sophie
yours?
has picked her spells. Yes.
yeah, so
Good.
my spells, I picked like damage spells, and then identify and heal, and then
Both handy.
telepathic message.
What?
Both handy.
And Sophie went with a bunch of mental abilities:
Cool.
detect affliction,
I
telekinetic.
can read.
Then read.
Telekinetic projectile.
Nice.
Detect magic and daze.
Those are all real handy. Daze is a great fucking spell.
I think daze goes well with my vibe.
I dig it. I dig it.
And then
So
my
you got your
level-
connection. You got your connection power, which is speak with animals. You got your bonus spell, which is life bubble, and you got your healing touch. You should be specialized and ready to rock.
Oh, you can't see shit.
Okay, so who here has yet to pick a
Turn the
feat?
stream on.
Oh,
I have
Sophie
not
needs a
picked
feat.
one.
Yeah.
I got a feat. I
Yeah.
fast talk.
What is
Oh.
it?
Fast talk. Buff 5 ranks. Baffle a
Where
foe,
do I
and they're
put-
surprised when the combat begins.
Wait,
So
what
you're-
now?
You're drawing.
Hold on.
Oh, you don't have 5 ranks in bluff. You
Oh.
don't qualify for that.
You don't have the
that's the
prerequisite.
prerequisite.
Meh.
Sorry.
I didn't want it anyway. Okay, so
So I'll go back down to.
I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
I'm gonna
but
watch it.
yeah, if you're all, I also have a book with the feats in them if anyone needs a reference.
Also, bear in mind that you will get more pretty
Yeah.
quickly.
You get a feat every odd level, and humans get more, and soldiers get more. So
So I can do one of these 3.
You cannot do that because your base attack bonus is not +4.
Sad.
are you looking at the recommended ones?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea,
Nimble-
actually.
Spell nimble moves.
What's your dexterity score?
12.
So no.
What the fuck?
I just misread small arm proficiency.
You need
I
to
thought
be
you had to
level
have
3 for
small
that
arms.
one.
Well, I
Use
can't
it.
do any of these.
I'm at the
That's
Rex.
Yeah, those are like long-term build
I got you.
goals.
Oh,
But at your level as a mystic, I might recommend things like let's see, minor psychic power gives you an extra 0 level spell a couple times a day, which is nice.
Can I do that? Do I qualify?
Yeah,
have
all you
11
have to be
charisma?
for that is
I
charisma
do have
11.
11.
So that's a good one. Die hard is nice. It makes you harder to kill.
What's something related to intelligence and the wisdom? Because I've got 15 there.
Okay, let's see. Intelligence and wisdom.
Spell penetration.
Spell penetration can be interesting. If you're up against a creature that naturally resists magic, it's easier for you to punch through that.
Swimming master.
What's a good one for like a melee character?
Step up is a nice one.
Like unarmed melee?
You're a Vesk, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a base attack bonus, do you?
No,
One.
0.
Oh yeah, so you
Oh,
don't
0?
get step up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Technomancer is not a combat class.
Yeah, exactly. But I wanted to take something with combat because there doesn't look like there's anything good for spells first level.
Mystic Strike is nice for spellcasters. All you need for that is the ability to
Wait,
cast
go on.
spells.
Hold on. Is it a Mystic Strike?
Yeah.
Does that come up a
Melee
lot?
and ranged attacks
Does
count
Mystic-
as magic.
Does the Mystic Strike one come up a lot?
Well, some creatures like, oh shit, mundane items don't hurt this thing because it's a magical creature. But I can imbue my fucking laser gun with magic, so go fuck yourself.
Word.
I'm a firing my ball.
Go fuck yourself.
You need to go fuck yourself, okay? I will only talk like that. No. Okay. I need you to go fuck yourself. Can you just dive right now, please? I need you to
This
go.
reminds me of Newgrounds. Just like every ever animation that
I'm
existed.
glad that you know what Newgrounds is.
Right? Yeah. No, that's good.
Stop.
But why? Why must you stop? Is that a problem?
Yes.
Well, golly,
Oh,
Sergeant.
good.
Now we're in the sale.
As long as we're doing fucking Gomer Pyle over here.
I hate all of you. None of these apply to me, man.
Those spellcasters are fucked.
I'm pissed.
I'm pissed.
Drag down.
I mean-
When you are tripped, you can attempt to trip an adjacent foe.
What character
Come
level
with
do
me,
I
you
have?
motherfucker.
I mean, diversion is nice.
Diversion? I can do diversion.
What,
Use bluff. Do you have bluff?
Wait,
Just a
I
good
like this
question.
when you're tripped, you can
so
attempt to trip an
one of the
adjacent
proficiencies
foe.
says
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
it.
have any,
That was the one that I was just gonna read.
Sorry?
I'll
like,
do different.
grenade
Okay.
proficiency. It
Where do I
says
put
no
that?
penalty to attacks made with
Uh,
So normally, are you proficient with grenades now?
No.
That means if you try and use one, you'll be at a big penalty because you don't know what you're doing.
Okay.
But if
Oh
you
God,
take,
what is this
if
thing
you
in my
take
hand?
grenade proficiency, then you
Okay, I
can
was
use
gonna say,
grenades like a normal person who
You're
knows
all
how to
wrapped
use
up
grenades.
other than equipment. We'll do all equipment.
Like someone who's trained
all
with
as
them.
one. If
I'm
you
streaming, by the way.
Okay.
So if
oh
Oh,
my.
we're online now?
But they can't do that.
Warn me about these things.
Thanks.
They can, no, it's a white screen, but
Okay.
just in case.
Okay.
Wait, are you streaming?
Showing nudes. Yeah, I told you guys.
Okay.
I didn't know you
say
had gone
you've
live.
man.
Yeah.
Here we are,
Sophie, if you
shouting
flip over your
things
sheet,
at
I'll
the
go through
world.
list
Shouting,
of stats
showing
with you.
nudes.
Warn a guy.
Okay.
So if you flip
God,
over
that-
that sheet.
that is
Sorry
a-
about the nudes.
This is a weird kind of streamception that's
Yeah.
happening.
Oh god, it keeps going. There's another one.
Yeah, it's because there's the delay.
Yep, there it is.
Amazing.
So,
There's no coming back from this.
have you guys decided you're leaning towards any one feat or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take grenade proficiency.
And
Very
I've done
nice.
diversion.
Even though
Okay,
you're not
excellent,
proficient?
excellent.
What?
Wait, I thought you're not proficient.
He's becoming
I'm not.
proficient.
I am now.
Oh,
He took a feat that makes him proficient.
Oh.
So your race
Macho
was.
I wanna be
My race?
a
I
macho
am,
You're an
man.
android, right?
Yeah. No, I'm a meatball.
But you're an android.
I'm a meatball.
It says on my sheet that
Meat
I'm meatball
ride.
under race.
That is your fault. So.
They don't all look that way.
That's disgusting.
Most of them just look like people with kind of synthetic skin.
Class.
Like here's an android.
If
who-
I
he
okay,
looks
so
really
if
badass.
I were to
Okay.
take, because I get 2 feats as a human.
So you
Right.
start with 10
If I were
hit
to
points.
take minor psychic power,
Okay.
do I get to then choose a
Stamina
random?
plus Constitution.
thing?
0.
You
Stamina points
pick
is
the
6.
spell that's associated with it. Yes.
Ooh.
3 times a day. That's pretty
So
cool.
minor psychic power.
Yeah.
You just
Damn,
go
I
through
want
the full rules
charisma.
on
This is
that.
dangerous. So
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Oh
showing
no.
us on
There's
screen.
a subset
I'm
you
just
can
saying,
pick from.
we're not looking
Dancing
at
light,
dudes, we're looking at
psychokinetic
dudes.
hand, telekinetic,
Yeah, but that guy's
telekinetic
naked.
projectile,
He's
or
gonna get me
telepathic
banned.
message. It's one of those.
Oh my
four.
god, sorry.
You actually can't read that
Okay.
because it's white.
Yeah.
It's white.
Dancing light, psychokinetic hand, telekinetic projectile, or telepathic message.
All right,
And you
I'm
can
gonna.
do that one 3 times a day.
I like how you keep trying to like cover this.
Oh no!
You need to loosen up.
What about enhanced resistance? That might be
Oh,
the
all
best.
right, let's loosen
That
up.
might be
Enhanced
the-
resistance?
Yeah, that might be the best.
Do you qualify for that?
Oh,
No, you need base
Seven.
attack.
No,
and
I would
that.
say I don't.
Yeah, that's
Really
that's a
good.
higher level deal.
Just kidding.
Rip the dream, kids.
It was one of my suggested things.
Sure, but probably further down the line.
Oh, I didn't never pick a DIET.
D-I-E-T?
It's not vital,
Your
but
character level
How do I know
plus
if I have a
modifier of
basic
your
attack
key
bonus
ability
of
score.
plus
Your
six?
key
You don't.
ability score
What?
is
it would
wisdom,
be. Did we not
which
go
is
through that for
plus
you?
2.
Okay, yeah,
So
we're
you
missing
get-
a lot of stuff on yours. Let's go through those real quick. I thought we had done that for
Resolve
everyone. My
points.
That
apologies.
is-
What are
Wait,
you
I don't
thinking
have
now?
side
She's
step.
missing a lot of her stats,
Ah.
which is unacceptable. Okay, so your base attack bonus, which you're gonna put here,
How do I
is
not
0.
have... Where's sidestep in this whole thing?
And that dictates how good you are at attacking. So your melee attack would be that number, and your strength mod is -1, so it's -1, I'm afraid.
Total?
Yeah, you are bad at hand-to-hand combat.
Well, okay.
But your ranged attack bonus, which is this number
Magic
plus
missile.
3,
You go
is
back to
therefore
missile.
3. So you're good at that.
Guns it is.
If I'm unable, does that just mean that I am not...
Which one?
So, unable to cast spells or spell-like abilities.
Right now you don't have any.
Does that mean that I am unable, though?
I mean,
Look at me.
Do I qualify as... Basically, can I take Spellsbane is what I'm trying to figure out.
Spellbane. What does it do?
It gives me a +2 insight bonus to saving throws against spells and spell-like abilities.
I think
gonna
as
roll
a
attack
Solarian
against
you
you, Sophie.
technically don't have any, but
Oh,
let me.
shit.
I just don't want you to get fucked later.
Well, yeah.
No, all of your
Better than
all
one.
of your abilities are what is
14.
called supernatural abilities. So yeah, you could totally take.
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna do that, actually.
So Jesse,
Shut
real
up.
quick, I ran through and I did Sophie's
Shut
initiative, stamina, hit points, resolve points, saving throws, attack bonuses.
Perfect. Good. Okay, so let's do those for you.
I know what
Sorry,
I'm
I
doing.
lost track of where we were.
You know what you're doing. 'cause you're done.
I'm done.
Okay,
Kyle,
so
you
we
still
got your
good?
base attack bonus. We need your
fucking
saving
add
throws. So under base
diggity
save
and
in this
equipment.
column,
Diggity?
you're
Diggity
gonna
and
put
No
0,
diggity.
2, 2.
No diggity? How do I find
And then you
diggity?
add the abilities that those are based on. So your Constitution is 0. So put a 0 there.
Where's my constitution? Oh,
It's
there.
that. Yeah, the bonus there is 0. The bonus to dexterity is 3. So you have real good reflexes, as you should. And your wisdom, you get a +1 there.
What is my posture is?
So your total numbers are 0, 5, 3.
You look like a troll.
And
Every chat needs a troll.
Some trolls exist on the. Yeah, see, look, that's
yeah,
how you.
so that's
how you exist.
that's your base attack bonus and saves. So that should help narrow down some of the things you qualify for.
I immediately thought better about my posture. Yes, great.
Okay.
Indeed, indubitably.
All right, so if
I
that
am an
helps you
eager
narrow down your
dabbler.
feats, so be it.
Yes.
Show me your feet.
Okay, so
Bam.
so
That's creepy.
while we're picking that last feat, let's go through some of the other stuff you guys should have.
That's it.
What's up?
Is it show
Purple
feats? F-E-A-T-S.
Oh.
Making bad jokes in chat.
Show off feats.
Now we're just
Okay,
being
so
idiots
let's
in
talk
chat.
about hit points and not dying.
Yay! I like hit points and
Okay,
not
so this
dying.
is relevant to everybody.
Yeah, so
I did mine
Where
already.
do I
In-
write my feet?
Fine.
if you've
Uh,
ever played an
backside on the
RPG before, you should be familiar with the concept of hit points.
Should be abilities. and
If you
feats, I
lose
think.
them, you'll die, so don't. But
So
they've
don't.
complicated this system slightly, and now there are 3 different resources you need to keep track of. Hit points, stamina points, and resolve points.
Do
So
they
first-
refresh?
Hold on, he'll get
Yes, they do, and they refresh different ways, which we'll go through in a moment.
I have a quick question about feats.
Okay?
One of my
You have two.
feats was supposed to be already small arms. So does that mean I don't need small arm efficiency?
I love
Oh,
the
if you
emote.
already have small arms, then yeah,
Emote
that
is
feat
so
does you no
good.
good.
Which one?
Okay.
It's a
so I can go to
5IW.
the next one that requires small
Exactly.
arms?
You qualify for
posted.
that.
Yeah, it's got like that smile
Sweet.
too.
Special
Devious
feats.
smile.
I just had. Here we go. Okay, so first let's go through how many hit points everyone actually has.
1
At
million.
level 1, your hit points are based on your race and your class, and you add those 2 things together.
yours is
So
pretty
around the
good.
table, you are an android mystic. As an android,
How do you-
sorry.
You get, hers was 10 total.
Oh, did you go through it already?
Yeah.
Great. And
Yours 4 and 6.
yeah, then you're fine.
Oh.
Okay, so you are a Vesk Technomancer, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so Vesk get a good
Yes.
amount of hit points. They're big, durable lizard
6
folk.
plus 5. 6 from Vesk, 5 from Technomancer, plus 1 from Constitution, if that applies to first
Not to
level.
hit points.
What?
It does not apply to your hit points.
Not first level.
No, ever.
Oh. So then I have 11. Not
Correct.
I too have
I-
11.
How do you know?
I'm cheating.
Coolmom, which is 4, plus Solarian.
How do I find out what I am?
You can look it up. Your rat, which is
Yeah,
2.
I'll give
I'm a
you yours
mouse.
now. You're a
You're a
Yoshoki.
mouse, which is
Yoshoki
2.
only get 2 hit
You know
points
that's
because they're
the
shrimpy
proper-
little folks.
Twitter handle?
And
But as an
I'm a
operative,
mouse, not a shrimp.
See?
operative
I didn't
is
do
6,
anything.
so you
I
get
just
8
moved
total.
away
8,
and it
yeah.
deleted it.
Where do I put that?
HP. HP.
then everyone gets stamina points, which is based on your class, and that's where Constitution applies.
Yes.
From where?
Class. So as a
Okay.
Technomancer, you start with 5 plus your Constitution mod.
Oh, so I do have 12 hit points.
No, this is stamina.
Oh, okay.
Stamina is affected by
You get
Constitution.
6
5 for
Looks like
5
another
for
three.
being a Technomancer?
And then your Constitution mod.
So 6 total. Got
Correct.
it. I got that one right.
6 plus
Yeah.
Constitution.
That's just for me. Or, no,
6
sorry.
plus
6 plus
Yeah,
your
which is
Constitution
zip.
modifier.
So you get 6.
As an operative, they get 6?
Yeah.
So
Cool.
don't get punched.
Yep,
in the
yeah, they do. And
3 months.
everyone's got those totals?
Wait, everybody look at the camera and smile, and then I'm going to take a picture of the stream. Once it shows. It's going to take a while.
I'm starting to like wait here for a second. Because it's kind of creepy.
Ready?
They're gonna watch us wait for
3,
so long.
2. Perfect, thanks.
Okay. And finally,
Such a good freeze frame.
This is low tech mom screenshots.
finally, everyone gets a third resource called Resolve Points. And that is based on your half your
She's
level,
selected,
but
right?
you always get a
Yeah.
minimum of 1,
Mm-hmm.
plus the modifier of your core ability. And you should each know what that is. I think I asked you to like put a star next to it.
Mine is strength. Because I am a soldier.
Is that based on your
It's
class?
It's based on your class.
Okay,
yes.
so for me it would be charisma.
Charisma, yeah.
For me, it would be Dex.
Almost certainly.
I get 4 of them
Yeah.
resolve
Typically,
points.
people will start with 4 or 5 here.
4 or 5. Wait, what? Oh,
4 or 5
Resolve
resolve points based on how high your core ability is.
Gotcha.
Are we in your stream, Moss?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so has everyone got those 3 numbers?
Yep.
Let me explain how they work.
To display the chat.
Hit points, just like any RPG, represents the amount of damage and injury you can take before you pass out from injury and possibly bleed to death.
Oof. I
Woo!
can take a lot.
Stamina, however, represents kind of your grit, determination, and blind luck. It acts as a buffer before you start losing any hit points.
Okay.
So as an example,
Oh, okay, so
let's look at Batman here, who has 6 stamina
Yeah,
and 8
Batman.
hit points. Let's say you get into a fight, and someone shoots at Batman and hits them, and they take 4 damage. Those 4 points come out of stamina before the hit points ever get touched.
Okay.
So you'd be down to 2 and 8.
How do you get back stamina points?
I'll go through that in a moment.
Okay.
Then let's say you take another 4 damage, you
What's
lose your
Jesse's
last 2
Twitter?
stamina points,
What's
and then you
Twitter?
lose the other 2 from hit points. If you go down to 0 hit points, you pass out and are in very real danger of dying permanently and turning in your character sheet forever. So don't.
Can we
Okay.
like burn it? Can we have like a sacrifice?
If you want, I mean, I'm assuming
eat
the
it.
sprinkler's gonna go off.
You'll
but-
eat it.
Yeah. But you can recover both of those systems in different ways.
Gracias.
Hit points are typically harder to recover than stamina points because they represent permanent injury to your character. Stamina points you get back a lot of different ways. So typically if you're going through a day and fighting over and over, like you'll run out of stamina but get it back a couple times, while your hit points, unless you take care of them, tick lower and lower, representing that problems are getting worse. So, getting them back, let's talk resolve points. Resolve points are basically your pool of emergency points. They power some of your best abilities in the game. For example, that holographic exploit or distraction or whatever it's called, you have to spend one of your resolve points to
Right.
do that. If you ever go down to 0 hit points, you start bleeding out resolve points.
So it's okay to have like the fewest resolve points.
Everybody does.
Okay.
Everyone does.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll only ever start with 4 or 5 resolve points, and most people start with 4.
He has way more points in general than I do.
Well, because he's the burliest race and he's a
I
combat
can't cast
class.
any spells. All I do
Yeah,
is run
he's
around
also
and
going to be
stuff.
taking the most damage all the time.
Okay.
He's the tank.
Not important. Okay.
But if you go down to 0 hit points, you start bleeding out resolve. You lose 1 per turn unless someone stabilizes you. You know,
Okay.
stops the bleeding, pulls you out of combat, etc. If you get down to 0 hit points and 0 resolve, and you have not stopped bleeding, you're done. You are dead.
How do we perform CPR on Meatball?
There is a class skill called, or just
The
a
gentle
skill
massage.
called medicine. Anyone can run up to a dying character and attempt a medicine check to stabilize them.
Yeah.
There are also magical spells that can instantly save your life.
Okay.
And that healing touch, for example, that can save someone's life right away.
Got that
If
healing
you take
touch.
any amount of magical healing, you also stabilize.
Mending?
No, Sophie is a
Oh, you
class
have
ability.
Oh.
Can
Yeah.
just heal someone for 5
The
hit
Mystic
points.
has healing touch just as a core
One
ability.
time today, y'all. So
Yeah, so don't waste it.
all get going.
But let's talk replenishing the other stuff. One of the things you can do with your resolve is refill all of your stamina. If you get out of a fight and you guys have, like, okay guys, let's take a breather, you spend 10 in-game minutes and 1 resolve point to fully heal your stamina. But of course, that's based on your resolve, so you can only do it so many times a day. The only way to get resolve back is to survive the day and get a good night's sleep. It only refreshes on a new day.
And it's like 8 hours, right? You have
Let
Yeah.
that be a lesson to you kids.
Yes,
always
get a
sleep.
full night of sleep.
Yeah. So the
I'm
other
terrible
thing
at
is,
this.
like I said, if you go down, you start bleeding out resolve. If you have enough resolve left, you can voluntarily spend some and immediately stabilize. If you have enough left, you can even bear out, like, you can even, like, will yourself back to consciousness. But that costs a bunch of resolve, so you need to basically have all of it left.
One little thing that I think the last thing you didn't cover is how often do stamina points refresh without using
Oh,
resolve?
stamina repoints, without, you also get them back at the top of the day.
So if you rest,
If you rest,
You get
you
all
get
of them
back stamina and resolve, but not hit points. You get back some hit points, but not all of them. A good night's sleep gets you back 1 hit point per level. So at your level, it's only worth 1.
Okay.
And those are those 3 points. Alright.
Okay.
So next, let's buy you guys some crap.
Woohoo!
so to give you a quick example, I don't need any like
what
mystical
crap
stuff,
is?
healing stuff. I don't need any special stuff. You buy armor, you buy a weapon, and then I bought some miscellaneous stuff that everyone can probably mimic.
Yeah.
I have a personal communications unit, a
It's
cell
a phone.
I have handcuffs because I'm soldier, outlaw, whatever, makes
No one
sense.
wants to hear about your creepy backpack.
A
I have a
backpack.
human head. I have...
I got a backpack with a tent, some handcuffs, and a knife. And
That's literally what's in it.
I have a
And
box
a
of
phone.
quick
Listen,
line,
Ed,
and- yeah.
you
Go
rang.
ahead.
The miscellaneous stuff like backpack, food, a set of clothes costs 20 credits roughly.
Yeah.
So
Should we let-
credits
I,
do you-
I was getting to that.
Oh, should we do it exactly? Like,
Yeah, so here's
what's
the...
what do we start off with? Like,
Everyone starts off with 1,000 credits. That's it. It's a flat. Prior games had, class-based wealth and also made you track the poundage of your shit. All of that has been streamlined.
cool. No
There's
one's
also
like-
not copper, silver, gold. It's all credits.
Yay!
God,
You know,
that's annoying.
this is
as shit.
thousands and thousands of years in the future, and digital currency fucking
RSS,
exists.
like, you got 500 gold, but you
And
live in a small town.
the
I
credit
can't convert it,
is the
and you
unit
can't
of
buy
currency
anything.
that this part of the galaxy has agreed upon.
We were never.
That's the
that
economic
mean.
standard.
What is casual station wear?
Look, don't
Some-
ask questions, okay?
If you work on a space station, but you're not wearing a spacesuit, you need a general work uniform.
Leisure wear.
I'm gonna wear casual
Re-
station wear. That sounds super
Resort
comfortable.
Anyway.
season.
So you're limited. You're limited by 3 things here.
Why
One
does it
is
look
the
like you have
cost
a
of the
gin and
item.
tonic?
Obviously, you can't
Why
spend
don't
more
we?
money than you have.
Okay.
2 is there is still the weight of the item. So instead of tracking poundage, StarFinder now has an abstracted system called bulk. So on the back of your sheet, you'll see
Equipment.
Yeah, equipment. There's level and there's bulk. Carrying capacity near the very bottom. That unencumbered number is half your strength, straight up. That's it.
Well, shit.
So, what is your strength
I can
score?
carry extra
8?
stuff.
Yours is
Anyone needs
8.
me to.
Great. Your unencumbered limit is 4. Now, bulk is thankfully also there's no like 1.3 bulk.
The heavy arms
It's
idea.
all
How does it work?
there's 3 degrees of
Half your
stuff
strength is
weighing stuff.
unencumbered.
There's negligible weight, which is carry as much as you want, no one cares. There's light bulk, which is it doesn't count against
There's 10,
your
so on the other
capacity
side.
unless you have 10 of it. Once
So
you're up
in
to
the middle,
10
you
light
put
bulk,
5.
that counts as 1 bulk. But you can hold 9 light bulk and still have it only count
And
as 0.
Do
overburden.
you round up or down for odd numbers?
You round down.
Okay.
And 0.
Would it be 6 and 12?
And
Would it be since I
finally,
have 12?
some of the heavier items just have an integer bulk rating. Like, Tyler's heavy armor weighs 2 bulk by
So
itself.
unencumbered is.
Half your strength.
Why do I need a phone? Are we gonna get separated?
You don't need a phone. You're a fucking space
Well,
meatball.
You
I
can't
mean-
even call on your phone. You're a meatball.
Bear in mind, the phone is not just. It's a smartphone. It has a flashlight, it has apps, it stores all your addresses.
It's also, in the big scheme of things, very inexpensive. It's like 7
Yeah, it's 7
credits.
credits.
7,000.
I mean,
Your big money sinks are going to be your weapon, your armor, and if you have any kind of
magical
mystical
items.
equipment.
Yeah.
The armor is very expensive.
Yeah. But
Just go nude.
any
that's
adventurer who
I'm a
wanders
never
into the
nude.
field without at least an armor and a weapon is suicidal.
So we have access to level 1 or level 2.
Yeah,
anything
that's the
beyond
third
that.
limit. Level item, the level of an item not only represents how good it is and durable and reliable, it also represents how rare it is and how much someone has to trust you to want to sell it to you. So, I mean, you guys just wandered into town essentially, and you can walk into any shop on the station and go, "I'd like a basic laser pistol for self-defense," and they'll go, "Great, 300 credits, sign here." If you walk into that same shop and go, "Hi, I'd like an artillery rifle capable of mowing down 13 armored men in the span of a minute," the guy's gonna go, "I'm sorry, are you a pirate by any chance?" And he's wildly smacking the button under the counter.
The biggest thing that makes
Help me!
your
Help
decision
me!
for you is what proficiencies you have.
Yeah, proficiency and level thankfully kind of narrows the field of items that make sense
You'll
for you to
have
have.
probably
Right?
I need to know my spending capacity.
1,000.
So,
I'm a
1,000?
freebooter.
Yep.
1,000. All right, great.
So
You
here,
have-
let me help you with your stuff.
I'm assuming you
since I'm
have-
standing right here.
Let's do this.
Now
thing.
you're a ranged person, so you're probably gonna want to
What
buy. What are you
proficiencies
proficient with
do you have?
weapon wise?
Small.
Small arms and sniper, but sniper weapons are real expensive, so you're probably not gonna want to buy one yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
How
Okay.
does the carry capacity of 4 relate to
So
bulk
you
again?
can
I'm
get
confused.
light
You
armor,
can carry up to 4
basic
bulk
melee weapons,
before
and
you
small
start
arms.
slowing
Okay,
down.
okay, gotcha.
So if we go back,
this is
So
light.
if we look at small arms, for
which
example,
one did you pick? The freebooter
uh,
armor?
here is the table
So
of
that's
what's
really
available.
expensive.
And you're looking at stuff that
I'm
has a
just gonna
level
cast
1 or
spells, but I
2.
gotta go. I feel
You
like I
are
have to go first all
allowed,
the time.
based on that trust thing I went
Wait,
through,
what?
to
Like,
buy
I'll be
stuff
going,
at
like,
your
first
level plus
towards
1.
enemies.
So you
I'll
guys
be
are
going
necessarily limited
Because
to
that's
level
based
2
on your
and
initiative.
below.
Okay.
So right
So
when
At a
for
later
example,
time,
the
every single
azimuth laser
person in
pistol
combat
is the
rolls a
bottom of the
20.
market basic small arm.
whoever's score
Half
goes
the people
is the
on
highest goes
station carry
first,
them.
and then in descending
They're
order.
cheap and they're
I
reliable.
get +6 on my rolls
What about a pulse cast?
because
A
of
pulse caster pistol
some of the stuff
is
I
nice,
picked. So you'll
but
be
it
going
also
probably
won't
towards
kill
the middle of
people.
the pack. But
Or
either
rather,
way,
it can be set not to kill
armor's
people.
super helpful.
It also does slightly less damage and is not accurate from very far away.
The other, so you're getting
Like,
light
you
armor,
can shoot
and then
beyond these numbers.
said-
It's just this is how far you can shoot accurately without any penalty.
No, just get the.
Yeah, the azimuth laser pistol is a real good starting weapon.
Okay, so how do I?
So under
make sure
equipment,
that-
just
yeah.
put azimuth laser pistol.
So you can get either basic melee weapons and small arms.
I don't really want a weapon. I'm gonna be doing more magic.
Everybody, I would say everybody needs
It's
some
a good
sort
back
of.
because you're gonna run out of spells too.
Never.
You can just shove it into the
Okay,
meat of your
it's a
meatball.
level 1 item,
Okay.
and the bulk is light, so
So,
L, which means it
small
doesn't even
arms
count towards your total yet.
Or pistols.
Beautiful. Because I'm light too.
And that
Basic
that
melee
item
is just
costs
like what it sounds like.
350
So I wanna get
credits.
melee.
You have 650 left.
Okay.
Just I
So
mean,
you
you'll
sh-
erase and rewrite that
I would
number of
recommend-
times as we go.
Right.
But now
Which
that we
is
know
higher,
your weapon,
strength or
we
dexterity?
can go to the front of your sheet and give you all of your
Here you go.
combat bonuses.
Okay.
So your
Your
weapon is
dexterity
your
is higher.
azimuth laser.
Okay.
Just
I
put
got
the
it.
name of it.
Okay.
Yep.
I would recommend ranged because all of your attack rolls, if they're melee, they depend on your strength. If they're ranged, they depend on your dexterity.
The level is a level 1 item. The attack bonus is your ranged
Plus,
attack,
if you're a
so that's
spellcaster and
plus
you
4.
don't take that much damage, you're better off staying safe.
The damage that it does is
But if you really want to do melee
1d4
attacks, that's
F,
fine too.
and
Well,
F
one-handed-
stands for fire. So what that means is when you if
So
you
if you
shoot
keep
someone
throwing-
and you
oh,
hit them,
you went way
you
too
roll
far,
your
I think.
d4 to see how much damage you do.
Yep.
But because you have that trick attack, maybe you'll get to do more.
Gotcha.
Okay. the critical effect. Now, some weapons have effects that
Spell.
critical. I'll explain critical hits in a minute. For now, just write down burn 1d4. That is to say, with the azimuth laser pistol, if you land a critical hit, you set the enemy on fire.
You probably buy
Fire!
that would be your
The
best
range,
option.
which is just the accurate range, that's 80 feet.
She's gonna get it.
It's okay. That's because you have really
Yeah,
limited.
no, the azimuth laser pistol is a
I'm,
almost everyone picks it
I
as
was
a
going to say,
starter.
I'm
Okay.
also taking it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can't hold anything
But
else
it-
because I'm mini.
It's okay for us to all have it.
Yeah. No, again, it is the bottom of the market basic defense
At
weapon.
level 1, everyone's options are really limited, so you end
Yeah.
up with a lot of the same
Type
Tyler's
is
melee.
small arm.
It's Tyler's melee.
So that leaves you with 650 left.
Yeah. And what else is there? Oh, ammo. Yes. All weapons consume ammunition. The azimuth laser pistol, since you're all picking it, I'll just go through that now. It
So,
it
hold on,
uses a
flip over to
battery
front.
that holds 20 charges. So under ammo, put 20/1.
On the front? Is weapons
Which
in the
is to
bottom
say
right.
that the battery holds 20 charges and each shot consumes 1 charge.
Okay.
Some weapons, like really heavy lasers, take 3 charges per shot. And special,
Flame?
no, there's nothing special about this weapon.
Rip. Wait.
That's the last column.
When it says 1d4F, what is the F? stand
Fire.
for? Fire?
Fire,
Okay.
and so you'll be targeting someone's energy armor class with that weapon. So it sounds like everyone picked that for the most
Type
part
is
as
F.
their gun.
I
I
also,
need a gun.
Wait, special was
I
what?
got claws.
Nothing.
nothing.
There's nothing on the azimuth laser. That's special.
I also took the auto target rifle.
Oh, fancy. That's expensive, isn't it?
Oh wait, no, I can't do it. I'm just over. Crap. Between the two, I'd be just over.
Where is that?
It's
No.
it's a level 2 long armor.
Oh.
It's on the next page.
Actually,
Oh,
I'm
then you
just,
can't-
I'm
can't
actually just gonna take that.
But you can, it's level 2.
Yeah, he
but
can
you
buy it. It'll just basically he can't afford that and the laser pistol.
Oh, I
So-
thought you said that we could use both.
Item
You
level,
can use them, but you
go
can't
up
afford
to
them
one
both.
above your character.
Right,
level.
so I'm actually going to not get the laser pistol.
Okay. Yeah, that just doesn't leave you a lot of money for armor bearer. Well, but you have your special armor, so that's a thing.
Is he Mormon?
No, but he has Solarian armor.
Look at pencils this whole time.
Okay.
See, I didn't know.
So if everyone, I mean, there are other
So you have like
small,
600.
like if you want to back up
Credits.
melee weapon like a knife or a grenade or
So you
whatever,
probably end
you can
up
buy those too. But for now,
with
let's
the
move on to
Kasatha
armor.
micro
real quick.
cord or the S-Sticks?
So, who here is proficient with heavy armor besides Tyler? Anyone? Probably
Nice and
not.
easy.
Probably not.
I'm a mouse.
Yeah. Okay. So armor. Every suit of armor has a few different bonuses that I'm going to point out here. So level and price is still self-explanatory, but there are 2 armor classes you have to worry about. EAC, which is energy armor class, and KAC, which is kinetic armor class. EAC protects you from things like laser pistols, magic spells, lightning bolts, shotguns, anything energy-based. Kinetic protects you from getting shot by nice old-fashioned metal bullets, being punched in the head, or slashed with a sword. Energy and kinetic. Your maximum dex bonus, thankfully none of these lower them too much, but the heavier armor is harder to move in, so for the sake of calculating how nimble you are, an armor with a lower maximum dex bonus might slow you down. Thankfully, none of these, that's not the case with anything you can afford.
And our dex bonus is this type.
Armor check penalty, which only these 2 have, is while you're wearing the armor, there are certain skills that are harder to do because it is stiff, hard armor, like stealth or acrobatics.
Hey, reported.
None of them have a speed adjustment. If you were wearing heavy armor, it might make you move slower. And finally, some armors have upgrade slots where you can put little technological enhances, like night vision goggles, or a quick-release weapon sheath. Like something that'll pop a gun into your hand like RoboCop, so you don't have to spend time pulling it. And they have either a bulk of light or 1, based on the ones you can afford.
How do you tell if they're... Oh, it says right there. Light.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So as a
Gotcha.
couple quick examples, the things that I was considering were, like Jesse said, the secret compartment to like store a weapon on my body, which I thought was kind of neat. Also for 95 credits, you can give yourself gills through biological enhancements, so you can.
Oh
live
yeah,
in
well
the
that's
water.
not even an armor thing. That's just straight, I want to modify my character And I'm going to go to a gene therapy clinic and install gills in my throat.
I'm just thinking in terms of what people might be spending money on. There are some
Yeah.
odd things that you can do if you choose not to go super
Yeah.
ham.
And if you want any of the flavor or lore behind these armor choices, I'm happy to give them to you.
Apparently we don't. Sorry.
I mean,
Go in flight suit, kids.
Nice.
pretty basic.
Flight suit with my extra armor actually
Yeah.
gets me to the same point as.
Sure, and that leaves you the money for the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Yellow light.
How do I can only do L. I can only do light ones, so I can't do the S6
So I
suit
have up to 650.
or the Kasatha.
Do you just not have the carrying capacity?
What are you looking for?
No, if you scroll up.
So-
See, it says no, you don't have to scroll all the way up. Just look at
That
the
would
top.
be light.
Yeah, but
that's
so I
like
get
anything in this table.
I
is
get
fair
a
game.
piece of
Oh, I
special
thought
armor
that the L.
because
Oh,
of
yeah,
my
no, sorry.
my
That's-
L,
staff.
that just represents
That
how
gives me a plus
much it
bonus
actually
bonus.
weighs for you to carry.
Okay.
L is like negative.
10L is
So
one.
is
if I
one
get
bond.
The Kasatha microcord.
Okay.
Oh, 10L is one bolt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's negligible then? Is that just
And if
Yeah.
it has a
Yeah.
dash next to it.
I don't think any armor.
No
is
armors are going to be
My
negligible.
dex right now is
Gotcha.
already.
Unless you're wearing like a thong
So that
or
would be the
something.
most that you
Which
can
I don't
have.
recommend.
Why not?
Hey,
That's what I'm wearing.
Okay.
I'm breaking the game. I have natural armor.
Well, a
class.
thong with
Oh,
like
yeah.
nothing else.
Well, you aren't going to be in the
Protect
middle
the
of
goods.
it.
Oh, okay.
Your
The thong
job
was
is to
invented
not
in
be
the
in the middle of
19
things.
So should I just get a
Huh?
light
29
thingy?
World Fair.
What's up?
Thanks.
The
Cole.
thong
Also,
was
you can
invented
buy
in the
it.
19
Can you tell chat? Can you
Right now,
closer?
you're not going to
Tell
have
them.
any bonuses
Because
beyond
they
plus
were
50
demanding
bonus.
that the
So I'm
performers,
just gonna
the
get a
street
second skin
dancers,
for
wear
now
something
to,
that cover their
cover me
genitals.
up,
Yeah.
like, tie me
But they
up,
wanted
right?
to show as
So
much
just
skin as
shove
possible.
all this
Yeah,
There are actually a
Coolmom
couple of
work.
pictures here of some of these armor as well.
Yeah.
So the freebooter armor is your typical kind of Han Solo space pirate sort of setup, and the Kasatha microcord is this nice full body, basically Evangelion
yeah.
suit.
Oh, yeah.
Does it have a picture of hidden soldier armor?
It does not, but that's
because it's hidden.
that's the heavy. Well, it's not. It's hidden in that it has a full helmet that only shows your eyes.
That's pretty badass.
It's creepy as shit.
Perfect.
Okay, so that one is.
It hides the soldier.
Where do I put the
410,
bonuses then?
and this one, the
So-
Asma
Yeah, it's-
pistol.
It's based on one of the other races'
So that's you
designs,
spent
but they do
760?
they do
So,
make them
I mean-
for Vesk.
I see.
You also get your dex mod as a part of it.
So it's plus 3.
Mm-hmm. So you get
no.
plus 3 in both.
Drugs. Nice.
Yeah, you can buy some drugs.
And then
Armor bonus is.
Oh, I'd like some drugs. Please.
Some Jurgas?
Sign me up for Insanity Mist and Blue Winnies.
Similar to
Dude, Hyperleaf is where it's at.
I believe.
so yeah, 4 and 5.
14 and.
Mega opiate.
Oh, okay, 14 and 15.
Stuff costs as much as like a spaceship.
I
By the way, don't worry about buying a spaceship right now. You can't afford one.
sweet.
I am a spaceship.
There you go.
If we all wear just
Okay,
thongs and have
so
no
weapon and
we could
armor.
buy a spaceship.
Have you guys all picked at this point?
What's that?
Yes.
Yes.
And did you? Because once you've picked your armor, you can fill out some more stats on the front.
Yeah, we got all that.
You did? Great, great,
Yeah.
great.
Where do I find the information about the weapons?
How do can I buy more than one weapon?
Absolutely.
Or hyper
You have 1,000 credits to go.
Why are you?
Don't just let me be me, okay?
Don't
You're
weapon
fine.
shamer.
So how much? What have you spent?
Yeah, you can buy as many weapons as you can
Huh?
afford.
I have 400.
Okay.
But now that you have a weapon and armor, I'm going to go through some of the other basic stuff you might want, like Tyler was going through.
Oh, it's
So
more.
there are some personal enhancements, not
$95.
personal
for-
virility
I can't afford.
necessarily.
Can anybody afford them? Because I can't
Well,
afford.
who's got what left to spend?
Does
at
anyone
this
have
point?
money left
I've
over?
got
I got
40
a
credits.
$1.50.
Okay, so Sarah has a bunch.
Okay, even with 40 credits, there's some basics you're going to want. So let me go through the stuff I'm really going to recommend anyone buy.
I'm really happy that you utilize
If
that,
only you
that
had
technique as well.
a personal communicator that could do
Yeah.
that for you.
So, for example, a personal communicator for 7 credits and negligible weight is a good idea.
Oh hell yeah.
What does that do?
Does this mean
It's
that
a
like
cell phone.
if I can't if I
Oh,
don't
I
pick
communicate
that
myself.
that I can't use my real phone?
What?
Never mind.
You're-
7?
It's 7 credits and it has negligible weight. Let me just. A personal comm unit is a pocket sized device that combines a minor portable computer and a cellular communication device, allowing wireless communication with other comm units in both audio and text format, so text away, at planetary range, which is to say you can talk to anyone else on the planet, but not on other planets.
Got it.
Interplanetary communications take a shit ton of energy and is prohibitively expensive for you to carry in your pocket. you'd need basically to carry a generator around on your back. So that's something you might want to get. You can buy cable line if you ever feel like you're going to need to tie shit up.
Or people.
Yeah, or people. You can buy some medical gear if you're worried about people not bleeding to death.
How much is medical gear?
A basic med kit is 100 credits.
I
but
can heal.
yeah, that's a thing too.
Rick,
Or you can buy a single-use med patch for 50. But that's you use it once and it's done.
Versus the medical kit is reusable.
Yeah, the medical kit is tools and renewable resources.
Gotcha.
None of you necessarily needs a portable light because your phone comes with a flashlight.
Nice.
Other stuff you might want, Tyler bought restraints because he's scary.
Because he's scary.
If you are a mechanic or someone who feels like they're going to need to do a lot of engineering, a toolkit is a good investment.
How much does that cost?
A toolkit is 20 credits.
I can do that.
And they come in different flavors. It's a specialized
Cherry.
set of tools.
Did anyone buy a
So
compass?
you can either buy a disguise kit, an engineering kit, a hacking kit,
Okay, hack.
navigator's tools, or professional's tools, which is like, if you had a profession, those would be the tools of your trade.
Do
If
they
your
have
lazy
any
ass
different
had a job.
prices?
Hacking
Toolkit, for example.
The hacking toolkit is still just 20 credits.
Cool, I'll take it.
Are the
Sold.
first couple also
Sold to the
20?
man in
Are the
front.
first couple toolkits also 20?
Yeah, all basic toolkits are 20 credits and have a bulk of light, I believe.
Do we need to eat?
Yes, but
We eat you.
you can buy portable food, but you'll
Red
not to lift the veil too much, but you're also going to be starting in a very populated first world area, so food will be readily available.
Is it more expensive than 5?
No.
Oh. I mean, normally if you make something at home.
Oh
it's-
my god.
Well, like,
That's what I'm saying.
the
Sophie's
credit
arguing
here,
so hard.
like, an unskilled laborer can expect to take home maybe 5 credits a day.
Oftentimes.
So a cheap meal is a credit.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright.
Like, you can walk up to a bodega and buy a hot dog for a credit.
Okay.
I mean, you can also even get away with, especially towards the beginning, if you're in a town and you're meeting people, the price of a meal is relatively negligible.
Yeah. People might
Especially when
even
you have a
treat
grenade. I mean,
Yeah.
no one's gonna be like, oh, give
Worst
me that
comes
credit.
to worst, you can buy
They sell my handcuffs.
you can buy Space Traveler's Field Rations, which is a block of brown nutritional gunk, and it will sustain you for like an entire day.
Yeah.
And
I have a week's worth.
a week's worth of that is 1 credit
So
because it
what
tastes
you're,
like ass.
so what you're telling me is this is Soylent.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
This is Soylent 1.0.
So yeah, toolkits are a thing.
Alright, I'm gonna
There are some magical items that can be handy, but I don't think any of you can afford them at this point.
Thanks for rubbing it in.
Yeah, I do what I can.
I have 2
Um,
credits.
And beyond that, there's stuff like clothing. Clothing is pretty cheap.
A set of everyday clothes is 1 credit.
Yeah, it's nice having a change of clothes
Is it
in
just
case
called
yours.
casual wear or something?
Just everyday clothing.
So you're not in your armor.
Yeah, if
24/7.
yours gets covered in blood for I don't know some reason, it would be nice to have a change. You can also buy specialized environment suits for like I'm going to a place with high radiation, or I'm going to a planet that's 112 degrees.
Cool.
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 What might be nice for those of you with low carrying capacity is you can buy a backpack that lets you carry more shit.
I'm gonna prosthetic limb.
I just got one.
There you go.
Wait, how much is it?
A consumer grade backpack is
$3.
3 credits.
Why would I need a?
And it raises your strength by 1 for the sake of calculating your bulk.
Oh, you need a
Why
what?
would I need a
Raises
prosthetic limb?
Not my strength, just the bulk.
Yeah,
No,
so,
your strength,
so
or
the
if you want,
unencumbered
like-
would go up by
I think there's a benefit.
Because your strength
you
is
don't
8,
take
I would
damage.
recommend the
Like the prosthetic limb takes
industrial
damage, though it's an
backpack
inanimate
at
object, you don't
25
take
credits
points
that raises
damage.
your strength by 2.
Okay.
It's mostly
That
a
would
lore
give
thing.
you
I
one
was at
extra
11, so that would give me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hideaway limb. Ew.
How
You
much
said-
is the industrial backpack?
25
No,
credits.
the limb isn't hideaway.
Okay.
Wait, is the
The
limb
basic
hideaway, or
backpack
you
gives
can
you
hide
carrying
something in the
capacity.
limb?
You hide something in the
No,
limb.
it gives you
Oh.
1.
Okay.
Well, the basic backpack only raises your strength score
Where's
by
the
1
where's the food
for the
stuff?
sake of calculating your bulk.
Okay.
So what is your normal strength?
16.
So a normal backpack only raises it to 17, which doesn't give you any extra carrying capacity.
That
So
makes
you'd
sense.
want the industrial grade one.
So
I don't have the
would
money.
rate your 10
I have an
instead of
industrial
8.
grade backpack.
Just for the
so
sake
worth
of
it.
calculating your bulk, yes.
Oh, so it doesn't apply.
It doesn't
to me.
actually up your strength. It just lets you carry
Did you
more
just
shit.
assume my bolt?
Okay.
Yeah, beyond that, weapon, armor, and some miscellaneous stuff, you're good to go. So let me explain how money actually works in this universe. Because, you know, if you've played a normal RPG, you're used to amassing giant sacks of gold and having to shuffle it around. No, this is the future. Digital currency and bank accounts are a thing.
Bitcoin.
Basically the standard.
Yeah, very much so. So, the way the banking system works is, and if you've played Pathfinder, there is a god back in that game called Abadar. He is the lawful god of trade, commerce, and cities. And his adherents, his paladins and his priests, are all about enforcing fair trade and making sure, you know, people are being above board. If they do not adhere to that, they lose their power. So, like, over time, people decided they wanted to trust them to run the banks, and now they do. Abadar Corp is now the richest and most successful financial institution in the known universe. and this is important because they protect the banks with the highest level technomancy spells known to man, so that people like this asshole can't mentally hack into the bank.
Not at first level.
So everyone has a bank account, but accessing a bank account can be kind of cumbersome because there's usually like 3 or 4 factor authentication. They're real protected. It's like thumbprint, voice print, password, the whole deal.
You're in sample.
Yeah. And obviously it's like, shit, I want a hot dog, but I don't want to go to the kiosk and do this whole thing. Enter the cred stick. The cred stick is basically a thumb drive sized, interchangeable, fully anonymous piece of plastic that you can store currency on. So let's say you have a cred stick with 50 credits on it. You can go, oh, I'd like to spend 5 of those credits and just wirelessly, beep, I just gave you 5 credits from my cred stick to yours. It's all fully anonymous, so, shit, I want to spend all 50 of these creds at once. I take it out of my pocket, I hand it to you, it's as good as yours. You don't have to re-authenticate it or anything. If you take a cred stick, you have that currency. So what a lot of people do is take, you know, shit, I'm going to take 100 credits out for spending money, and if I get mugged in the back alley, I've lost 100 credits, but because that stick is fully anonymous, that thief doesn't have any access to my bank account. It sucks that I lost 100 credits, but my bank account is safe. So that's how money works. And cred sticks, if you go to the bank kiosk, they will print you a blank, you know, plain plastic one that just looks like any other one on the planet. But people do make custom ones. You know, popular cultural icons, you can get them with stickers on them. You can get them in the shape of your favorite cartoon character. They're like cell phone charms. People make fun cred sticks. And people will have like, this is my you know, I'm an internet celebrity, and I have a cred stick with my favorite emote on it.
Meatball.
With my favorite.
And I give them out to my fans at, you know, shows. They don't have currency on them, but, you know, it's a collectible. And if you're a rich guy, you might even have the famous black cred stick that gives you a direct, unlimited line of credit back to the bank directly. But those are 1 in a zillion. Anyway, that's how money works in this universe. As long as you're on a civilized planet or station or anything with access to the bank, there is almost certainly an ATM where you can either refill a cred stick or print a fresh one. Any questions?
I think we're Gucci.
Okay, so you've got gear. You've got all your character stuff. We're almost done at this point. Now, really, the important part is let's go through your individual interesting character stuff. So, everyone at this point, look on the front of your sheet. I think we discussed alignment already, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a quick question though.
Yeah.
Can I get a prosthetic limb that's my tail?
If you want it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it'll give you an inherent advantage right now, but
Oh.
yes, if you need to replace a limb and you want to put, like, a hideaway weapon in your tail as a vest, you totally can do that. I just wouldn't waste the money right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you any kind of an advantage.
Okay.
What do Yosoki speak?
Oh, they
Common?
speak Common and they speak Yoshoki.
The Vesk speak Vesk?
Yeah, the Vesk have their own ancestral language.
Everybody
just-
starts speaking common plus their
racial language if they have one.
Except
Common!
Androids don't have one. They speak common.
I feel like I should
You
get an
speak
extra one for
meatball.
being a
You
zero
do.
seeker.
Well, you also, with a high intelligence score, you get an extra language.
I don't have a high intelligence
Well, but
score.
you have a +1 mod, right?
Yes.
You get a bonus language for every modifier in your intelligence.
Wait, I have -1.
Well, you still speak common and Vesk.
Okay. That makes
How
life
do
easy.
I speak 0 languages.
I don't know words.
So,
I know words.
Does everyone have their alignment set up?
Yes.
It's,
no.
It's
I don't.
lawful, good, neutral, evil, the whole usual axis of 9.
So I can speak an extra language because I have intelligence of +1?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll go through available languages in a minute.
Oh, dang.
I'm going through now all the extras that will help you shape your character. And if you have an idea what your character's backstory and deal is, that'll help inform these decisions. So, we should have alignment. Based on the fact that you all bought armor and you know your dexterity, you should have your armor class filled out at this point.
Yep.
Does anyone not have that?
AC versus combative maneuvers?
Oh, combat maneuvers. That's your KAC +8.
Gotcha.
It's a flat bonus to everybody.
Well, goal it.
Combat maneuvers are things like trip, disarm, bull rush, fancy moves in combat.
What about speed?
Everyone starts at 30 feet per round, which
Where do you
is
put that?
equivalent to 6 of these squares on this little map.
it's
here.
Next to your size, top left.
And deity, can we just be agnostic?
You absolutely. That is 100% valid.
Okay.
Just bear in mind that this is a universe where the existence of gods is proven scientific fact.
You should worship Desna if you know what's good for you.
Also true. Like, it is totally cool to not adhere to any one god, but to be like, I'm not sure they exist, is to get laughed at in this world, because people can manifest that power in 1,000 different ways, and they do every day. Like, the gods are proven science at this
How do I
point in
find
time.
Can you
the
worship
deity
Chef
count?
Boyardee?
Oh, there's a bunch of them at the very end of the book under setting.
So I can't just make up my own, like
You-
cats.
I mean, you can worship cats if you want, but, I mean,
People are gonna think you're weird.
yeah. Okay.
What else is new?
So,
Did you guys
attack
find-
bonuses, I believe we
What?
went through.
Deities in the SRD thing?
Just write down Desna.
I don't know if they have.
Yes, they do.
Have they? Okay, because in the Pathfinder one they didn't, because they were only allowed to print rule stuff, not lore stuff.
Bum, ba-da-ba.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know
there's-
if it's the
there's
same with this
10.
new one or not.
What is it under?
You did great.
I'm
Okay.
sending it to you.
So we got your attack bonuses, we got your carrying capacity. Okay, deity. I'm happy to suggest some of the more popular ones lore-wise.
Especially ones that match your alignment.
Yeah.
Makes it easier.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, what's your alignment as Ratman?
Sarah.
Whoa, Batman!
Okay.
Batman.
Chaotic neutral.
Okay.
Batman.
So there are a couple of Yashoki deities, in fact. Depending on where you're from, maybe you're into that.
I don't know how to answer that.
Batman.
Okay.
RSS, what alignment are you picking?
I was going for a neutral good.
Okay.
I like it.
Boring.
You're
Wait,
boring.
Kyle, what did you pick?
Where are you going?
Lawful good.
Ooh.
Okay.
And you want to hack into the bank?
Maybe I don't agree with the practices
That
of
is
distributing
against
money.
the
That's
law.
not up to you.
That's
If you're lawful, it's not up to you whether you agree with it or not. You can
Fuck, I'm
disagree.
chaotic
but-
good.
Like, literally, if you're lawful, you can be like, well, I don't like this, but the rules are the rules.
AKA a pleb.
You're chaotic good. You're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do good.
Okay, chaotic, neutral.
Whatever I think is good.
I was gonna
something
be
that might
lawful
fit
evil,
you.
but I figured that
Is
with
That's
there's a
really
god
hard
of
to do.
piracy.
It is. I enjoy it,
yeah,
but it's
yes.
also I didn't want to
Yes.
inconvenience a newer group.
Which one's that?
Is that
Besmara, the pirate queen.
What are
Beautiful. I like
It's
it.
tough
What?
to balance one evil character
BESMARA.
and
Here
a
she
party
is.
of
Here's
good
her symbol.
characters and have them not hate you.
It's your basic skull and crossbones.
We had
Love it.
in one of my campaigns, we had a necromancer, like a guy who revealed himself to be a necromancer at a certain point, and I was playing a paladin who's like, nah, dude, That ain't cool.
Yeah, she's supposed to, she's all about sort of chaos and
In our last
strife
Pathfinder
and might
campaign,
makes right, but
Eat
she's
My
also
Kitchen,
said to watch over
played a
starship
rogue
crews traveling to
It
cosmos.
was
Beautiful.
chaotic.
What about
Okay.
Serenray?
We were
Saren
all
Ray
good,
is a
and you
classic.
just, no matter what was
The
going
neutral
on,
good goddess of
with whoever
redemption,
it was.
healing, and the sun.
Good guy, bad guy, enemy.
She's from Pathfinder, so she
Can I
is
roll a progression
millennia
check?
old.
as a courtesan.
Her
Like,
whole deal is
okay.
that any enemy is worthy of a second chance if they're willing to take it. But if your enemy is without remorse and doesn't feel like being redeemed no matter what you try, you are more than allowed to strike them down with holy fire. Like, the irredeemable, like, the meek need to be protected from the irredeemable.
Okay.
But she's also very much a goddess of sunlight and healing and forgiveness. Like, Saren Ray orders me to forgive those who are willing, but she is totally fine with me striking down those who are not.
What are you doing?
Also,
Little pansy.
funny story, because Saren Ray is the goddess of the sun, once humanity was able to take to the stars, the first thing they did was go to the sun to see if they could find Saren Ray. And turns out there was actually a holy city in the center of the sun.
Seems good.
There's an open portal to the plane of fire in the middle of the sun.
Oh, so it wasn't in the sun.
No, it is. It's literally in the
Access-
center of the sun.
Oh. Sounds good.
So, is that your choice?
No, I'm going with Triune.
Ooh, the machine god.
Yes.
Triune, very popular among technomancers, and a very important part of the lore and history of this universe that I'll get to in a minute.
Also very in tune with Ender's Game universe as well.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not have a title on your stream?
No, I do. Just refresh.
Okay, so does anyone else feel like they need to pick a deity?
Oh, you're on Go.
I was going for Yarasa.
Which one?
The neutral good, Yar Aesa YAR.
Oh, that's one of the new ones. I don't know that one as well.
Haha! I am
picked
confusion.
Waydan.
What's that?
I picked Waydan.
I said lit the waiting up. I don't know how I heard that.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, Wayden's a good one. Right, you're right. So let me just have a quick look here.
You have 500 bits.
The Lady of Wisdom. She teaches that the core of sentience is the search for knowledge and meaning. So as a Solarian, totally your bit.
Oh, my shtick.
You are an amazing Stardust Meatball, and together we can create anything.
And in fact,
Power
your
of the
race's
amalgam of consciousness.
followers reject faith, which is not to say they reject worship, but they reject blind faith. One of their core tenets is you should not believe something that has not been proven to you or that you have not proven yourself. Like, don't accept knowledge because someone says it's so.
Bless you.
I want you to prove that to me,
Let's
please.
Alright, so I think we're in good shape in terms
Okay,
Let's play.
so that's good.
Wait, yeah, can we
We
just...
have a couple other things.
Yeah.
We're almost done. Again,
Character creation takes a
of...
while.
You only have to do this once.
yeah,
Hopefully.
Okay,
I've
so
been here
The
before.
Starburst meatballs get cooked.
Homeworld. This is
What
not
party?
super vital, but at this point, let me go ahead and set the stage for this universe, because a lot of the rest of this is going to be based on your place in the universe. So before I go into that, because I'll be able to adapt this to the characters you want to build, let's go around the table, and I want just, a 2-paragraph description of who you are and why you are that.
I will go last.
Okay?
Start with Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler has a good idea, and you and I actually went over this a bit.
Sure, let me pull out my notes.
Yeah. Also, if you don't want to tell everyone every secret aspect of your character, you can skip over some stuff.
Sure. So the TLDR is that I, as a big, strong Vesk person, was in the military. I'm chaotic good and an outlaw. And the explanation behind that is that through my goings-on in the military, I uncovered that some people were laundering money from the organization, and that bothered me immensely. And in a fit of rage, I ended up killing them. And this didn't go well in our society because the Vesk are very organized based on structure. I killed a superior officer, went to jail, did various things I'm not liked in that community, and now I'm kind of out of jail seeking to start over and go explore things that I have not experienced before.
Right. Which leads me also to sort of the conclusion of what your arc should be so far. So, not to railroad too much, but the premise of this adventure is that each of you individually has decided to sign on with an organization called the StarFinder Society. The StarFinders are a loose, they're not super loose, they're actually pretty organized, but they're not an official government agency. They don't have legal authority to do a lot of things, but their ethos is the discovery and dispersal of information. They want to uncover the truth of the past and forge a better path to the future through exploring new areas and discovering new things. Because a lot of space at this point in time is the great unknown. Like this particular galaxy has been colonized from front to back, but interstellar travel is a relatively new development. So there's a lot of unexplored space out there, and the Starfinders are kind of leading that charge. So your character should have some reason why they want to get involved with that. So, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
All right. I thought you were going last.
I gotta take it when it comes.
Okay.
I am the mystic meatball magi. I am a former cultural icon. I used to be a content creator, and I was on tour when one night, in my hotel room, someone gave me something kind of, I imbibed it, and it opened up another dimension. So I'm on a path to seek truth, and I think that there is greater knowledge and greater spiritual connection out there. So that's my story. That's why
I dig it. Okay.
I'm gonna go get a cookie. I'll be right back.
Enjoy your cookie.
You earned that.
I like it.
So I'm a Vesk technomancer named Jeff.
Jeff, all right.
How do you spell that?
DGOELF. Oh, you'll hold it.
Oh, yes.
Well, actually, you won't be able to see it. There you go. I'm an explorer, and I'm a researcher, and I want to create alien life out of robots.
You want to create alien life?
Yes.
Okay. How are the Starfinders going to help you with that?
They're going to help me find alien races, possibly,
Oh.
or random... But aliens haven't been found, right?
Oh, no, many aliens have been found.
But many
This-
probably have not.
Oh, yeah, but there's a lot more out there.
Yeah, I'm
Like, even this galaxy is home to, like, 7 majorly dominant races and at least 25 more.
Cool. Well, yeah, I want to find some people, some person, some civilization to help me create
Well,
robot life.
that's the Starfinder's MO, so you'll fit right in.
Nice.
Okay.
I am a Solarian Xenoseeker who basically is just wanting to find out more about the universe as a whole and see exactly what all is out there and find out what my place is as an agent of the what they believe is the dualistic cycle of light and dark that is within the entire universe. We've been training for a number of years, sought out tutelage, leaving my home world. Thanks. That's nice.
We'll figure out what that homeworld is in a minute.
High-tech
Yes.
camera work.
That is more my shoulder than anything.
You
But
know,
Also, you've misspelled my name on the stream, and now I'm enraged.
wow,
there's no I in Jesse.
way to screw that up.
Turn off the stream.
Guess who's gonna die?
Okay.
And so that's kind of what I'm trying to see what I can do for you
Sounds-
there, and be a force of the preservation of the universe.
Sounds good. And finally,
Batman.
Did you?
Did you actually turn off the stream?
Lost.
I've been hitting the wrong button. There we go.
Wow.
I fixed it.
The consummate professional.
I like pointing to the screen, boss. You broke it.
all right. And yes, what's your deal?
Okay. My name is Ratman, and I was an orphan, abandoned, and found in a Vesk colony and
Ooh.
taken
Oh,
by
pretty far
Vesk.
afield.
And I was bullied my whole life for being tiny. And they
rat?
all called me, yeah, oh wait, no, my name
Like, what's your actual
Hang
name?
Your name is
My
Batman.
name is Batman, but they called me Ratman. I got pissed off, but I'm actually Batman. But yeah, so I enjoy making. I basically left early, and I just kind of went off on my own and did my own thing, and I've been very independent, and I'm kind of snarky, cynical, chaotic, neutral, just kind of pissy, and I particularly like making hell for Vests.
What about
Whoa.
Rim the Rat Man?
Whoa!
I thought you were like raised by Vesks.
Yeah, but they picked on me my whole life, so fuck that shit.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. And this actually works out really well
Interesting.
because Yashoki is a language that's hard for non-Yashoki races to speak. Yashoki often take on these nicknames in common that become used more than their real names. So you've probably gone by Batman or Ratman as your actual name for most of your life.
Yes. They call me, they interchange.
Look
I'm
at the cold.
interchangeably Ratman and Batman.
That's ice
I'm
cream.
actually Batman. And I'm a bounty hunter.
Ice cream.
And I'm always seeking to prove myself, and I've kind of got like a Napoleon
Alright.
complex type
See,
thing.
I'm
So-
metagame to be good and not evil, so I get along with
No, I'm
everybody.
not malicious. I'm
Okay.
just mischievous.
Yeah.
So like, I'll like step on your tail or like
Like,
cover you with
wasn't me.
toothpaste when you're sleeping, and like
That
not
escalated
me.
real quick.
I'll put toothpaste.
Could you get a hygiene kit?
I'll
Because
put-
we're going to get that toothpaste.
I'll steal yours and then leave it in your meatball.
I don't have a high
Mine
shit.
is to keep this suit pristine.
Anyway,
I'll leave the toothpaste in the spaghetti so they think it's you.
Ew.
so why would you want to sign up with the Starfinder?
Oh, I'm motivated by money.
Oh, well, yeah. Like, the Starfinder Society tends to find a lot of interesting artifacts and relics, and there can be big payouts.
I have a bounty hunter background and I've got like thief fish skills.
Perfect.
So anything that gets me money and provides entertainment. I'm just for amusement and money.
Okay.
My kind of girl.
So, let's discuss how you fit into this particular universe. And now, for the benefit of you and for our delightful viewers at home in chat, here is the basic lore of Starfinder. History is broken.
Uh-oh.
Fix it.
Literally, there is,
Sir, are you okay?
at some point, humans, which is where this story began. You okay?
I can't eat bread. Stop making fun of me.
It's okay, you're hidden behind RSS on stream.
Alright.
No one can see you.
I'm listening to
Humans and a number of humanoid races, including elves, halflings, gnomes, used to live on a planet called Galarion. And there are copious historical records that back this up. And Galarion used to be in this star system, roughly the third or fourth planet from the sun. At this point, no one knows where Galarion is.
Why?
They lost it.
Yeah, they lost the planet.
So we lost
Someone
it.
wasn't
Lost
looking
planet?
and they misplaced
That
it.
is some real
Yeah.
Hitchhiker's Guide bullshit right
Yeah.
there.
No, so here's the deal. At some point in the distant past, because there are records of this, and there's a lot of archives and relics, and people can trace back human history for thousands of years. Unfortunately, current history can only be accurately recorded for about the last 320 years.
What?
At some point prior to that, some event happened, and no one in the known universe has any actual memory of it. There is a collective gap in everyone's consciousness as to what happened. It's even referred to in current parlance as the gap, this unknown period of time.
Hashtag ad.
But at some point during the gap, Galarion vanished. And humanity, of course, had already developed space travel and started reaching other planets within their system. And that's good because their planet's fucking gone. In its place is a space station called Absalom Station, which is functionally the center of this galaxy and of the known universe to humans. A, because it has become the surrogate home of humanity, and B, for trade reasons that I will get into momentarily. Shortly after the gap, when people were still trying to figure out what the hell had happened, again, they had met other planets by this time, and none of their allied alien races knew what happened either, because they had been used to trading with Galarion. A new god revealed itself to the universe, the god Triune, the machine god. It emerged from digital consciousness to everyone who could hear it in this universe and several other galaxies, and brought with it the secret to faster-than-light travel. They revealed a new dimension, unknown to priests or wizards or scientists called the Drift. And they brought with them a design for a technological marvel called the Drift Engine. This engine, when attached to a starship, allowed a starship to travel into this unknown dimension, the Drift, and by traveling to beacons within the drift beacons, they would emerge thousands of light years away. And it allowed them to travel in the span of a week, what would normally take the span of a lifetime. So, this happened in... The current calendar system is AG, after the gap. This happened in about 3 AG. Of course, humanity being as it was, got very excited with the prospect of new worlds to colonize and mine and trade with and exploit and conquer and all of the wonderful things humans want to do, and they started reaching other galaxies. The first one they reached was the one next door, the Veskarium. That was first contact with the Vesk right around the year, 15 or 20. First contact went terribly. And immediately, the Vesk, who are a militarized, conquering race, went immediately to war with humanity. Being faced with this overpoweringly strong race, humanity allied with the other races and planets in its own system and formed an area now known as the Pact Worlds. P-A-C-T, not Pactful. The Pact World system includes Absalom Station and the other planets around this local star. Along the way, they met a number of other races. The Lashunta, they had already met prior to the gap. The Lashunta live on Castrovel. They're one of the core races you can be if you want to play them.
Is that the arm one?
No, the Lashunta are the guys who look like Mantis from Guardians 2. Let me make sure I'm getting my timeline right here. It's not super vital, but I'd like it to be accurate.
So far, very impressed with your knowledge, Jesse.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, this is freaking awesome.
Okay, yes. They went to war with the Vesk around 12, and as such, that's when the Pact World Systems was started. Following that, humans, meanwhile, besides fighting off the Vesk from their homeworld, had begun to explore other star systems. But, because no one knew what they were doing, those initial expeditions also went very badly. So, major try number 1 put them at war with a incredibly dangerous race. Try number 2 brought home something called the Stardust Plague, which ravaged from world to world, wiping out countless millions. An interplanetary disease that no one was expecting. And as such, people started to codify, maybe we should have procedures for this. And this is where the StarFinder Society kind of started to come into its own. Maybe we should put together a society who's dedicated to doing this the right way, for example. Then, there were a number of developments at home. There was a new race that came into existence, emigrating from another galaxy, and that was when they realized that beyond the Vesk, Triune had basically contacted all of the known universe, because races were developing FTL travel left and right all around the same time. The Shiren were a splinter race for something they called the Swarm. The Shiren are a very they look like locusts. They're very kind of bug-like people. And the Swarm they described as this great hive mind they had left back home. The Shiren had mutated off of that to become this, they were a race that basically woke up one day and realized, wait a minute, we're not connected to the hive mind. We have to make our own decisions. Holy shit, that's amazing. The Shiren actually get an endorphin rush for being individuals. Making a minor decision like, what shirt am I going to wear today, thrills them to no end, because it's a decision they get to make when historically they hadn't.
They think they get to make.
Right. Around 154, androids, which had always worked hand in hand with humanity, it was discovered that the biological components and fully sentient intelligence that humans had been building into androids had actually started attaching themselves to souls. So rather than continue to manufacture them as slave labor, androids were granted full citizenship about 150 years ago.
Was there a civil war?
Not as much, but there was a violent civil rights movement.
Where meatballs got their
Yeah, man.
About 100 years ago, a ship showed up with a race called the Kasatha, and those are the four-armed guys. It was a ship half the size of a planet. They called it their world ship. Apparently, in their native universe, their homeworld was, cooling off as their sun died out, and shit was not looking great for them. So they showed up in their gigantic colony ship and put it up next to a planet and said, okay, we're going to colonize this. And this being the Pact Worlds, that was an inhabited planet, and everyone's like, hey, we live here, can you not? And the Kasatha said, well, fuck, we came all this way, we're going to park our ship in orbit around your sun, and now we live here.
We are going to become the third planet.
Yeah, the Kasatha world ship, the Idari, is functionally one of the planets in this system now.
Nice. Seems good.
About 30 years ago, and at this point, the war between the Vesk and the humanity has gone on for 275 years. Generations and generations of blood feuding. The Swarm showed up. And the Shirin was like, oh yeah, those guys, we're all fucked. And it turned out we were right. The Swarm was taking down everything in its path. Only by finally setting aside their differences and allying the Veskarium and the Pact Worlds were we able to fight them off. So the Vesk and humans are now formal allies, and the Vesk have full citizenship rights within the Pact Worlds, but that's a development that's less than 30 years old. So those tensions are still kind of tight.
Can you remind me who the Shirin are?
The Shirin are the locust-looking
That's
dudes.
Got it.
Yes.
I just literally imagine
Pop
them
singer.
as Ed Sheerans, just all of them.
Here, I'll get you a picture.
Okay.
Slightly less
I kind of want
digestible.
them still as an army of Ed Sheerans.
These guys.
All the G's.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I had some red hair. We can make it work.
so those of you who are Vesk, you're probably too young to have been in the war, because, your average Vesk starts setting out on his own adventure when he's probably 25 or 30. So, even if the war happened during your lifetime, you would have been a little kid. But tensions are still kind of tough. As an android, you have full, human rights. You are your own individual citizen, but a lot of people still go, man, why are we bothering, we built this race, why don't we still own them?
I believe in you.
meatball.
Yeah.
What?
I believe in you.
As a human,
And you.
I mean, you are a plucky expansionist, I want to go on and do great things. And here's the thing about the Ashoki. There was a race on Galarian called Ratfolk, which people historically think that's got to be the precursor to the Ashoki. However, as humans traveled from world to world within this system, they discovered other native populations of Yashoki there. They seem to evolve independently on any given world, giving rise to the adage, well, you can't have a planet without some rats in it. And as such, the Ashoki of various worlds have kind of come together and become this one great big homogenized mishmash population. So for a Yashoki to wind up abandoned somewhere in the Veskarium is not out of the question at all.
Thank
I love you can't have a planet without some rats in it. It's like a really great statement for life.
Yeah. So,
So it's not just
if
the best that
everyone
you don't like
is
frosting.
comfortable
No.
with that, I
Don't like
mean,
meatballs either.
you don't have to list a homeworld now, but that should give you an idea of the current state of the universe and maybe give you some thoughts about where you might come from within it.
Okay. You're
Sure.
a mouse.
You're
No.
Okay?
she's a
Rats and
rat.
mice are different.
She's Batman.
Still gonna, yeah.
So, I mean, immediately near Absalom Station, there is the planet Castrovel, which is a very lush, very verdant, very healthy kind of nature world. It's where the Lashunta are from, and it's where the elves have all settled.
Where would I have gone to study? originally?
There's a number of places. Castrovel, which has some
Hogwarts.
great universities. You might have done that. The Kasatha have a very strong tradition in Solarian teaching. You might have gone to the Idari and studied on that ship.
Okay.
There's a couple other places that are kind of shithole planets that I don't really see having
Yeah.
having the training.
Ohio.
Did you say Ohio? From Ohio, you asshole.
That's the joke.
Shut that.
You don't like him, and I don't like any of them.
Yeah, I might
Sup, bro?
recommend Castrovel.
Fred.
Versailles is a nearby planet with a. Actually, that might really make a. That
You mean
that
Versace?
actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Versailles is a tidally locked world, which is to say, it doesn't rotate in relation to the sun.
Ooh, I like
One
this.
side is always facing the sun, and one side is always away from it.
I like this.
So, in terms of learning the powers of light and dark with regard to stars, that makes sense. Along the equator of the planet, an area known as the Ring, it's kind of the perfect, temperature and climate to build high-end cities. And there's some high-tech shit going on in Versus. But there's like miserable, uninhabitable deserts on one side,
Excellent.
and frozen, blacked-out garbage on the other.
I will have been born and raised there and studied my life
There you
in this
go.
place.
That's where you picked up your native
Okay,
accent.
and you.
Ah,
I mean,
yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess you're from the Vescarium.
I'll
Yep.
take this guy.
Yeah, the Vesk, there are 9 planets there, and the Vesk have conquered them all. So you can be from any of those, but the big one is just called Vesk Prime.
Desk Prime, I like it.
All right.
Like Fifth Prime.
And you can be from wherever the fuck you
The
want.
slums of Vest Prime.
Yeah. Okay. So individually, and I'm hoping this will come out during the game. At some point in the last month, each of you, while considering, man, what do I do next with my life, whether it was on your home planet or touring around just looking for work, someone who doesn't really have a permanent residence can always find work, like crewing a starship, or cleaning a starship, or working on a mining colony, or, doing terraforming if you know how to use the trucks right. You probably were looking for something to do. You ran into a dwarf. Those are still around in this universe. Dwarves have had a rough lot after the gap, because the core dwarven god from Pathfinder, god named Torag, he was the god of of mining and the forge, and he dwelled deep underground. And now the Galarian's god, no one knows where the fuck Torag is. He's disappeared. The dwarves have lost their core connection to their personal god, and that makes them a little grumpy. But
Well, pissed off with dwarves.
as dwarves are wont to do, they have established some of the most successful mining operations in the galaxy. Asteroid mining is a very lucrative trade if you know how to do it. So, at some point, each of you happened to get into a conversation, whether it was at a bar, or a job office, or a mine, or a work site, or a starship, with a dwarf by the name of Duravor Creel. Duravor Creel struck you as kind of cheerful as dwarves go, and really seemed to have his shit together. And in chatting with him, he would have told you he was a recruiter for the StarFinder Society. And he gave you the whole sales pitch, lots of pay, high prestige, discover the past, forge a path to the future. And whether you were sold outright or it just sounded like good money, he said, well, if you'll meet me on Absalom Station in 1 month, in Docking Bay, I want to say... Well, in Docking Bay, where is it? Hang on, I've got the number here. 94. Meet me there in 1 month on Absalom Station, Docking Bay 94, and I can get you a job. It is now roughly 1 month later. And if you guys are ready to go, I can kick off our adventure now.
Let's go.
Woo!
So, question: how
Yes.
long will this be?
She's
The
doing an
adventure.
hour.
I have to leave at 9.
Well, then why don't we go until 9 and then stop there?
Okay, so we can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, we're not going to get through the adventure tonight.
Okay.
At all. Ever.
Alright. Great.
Yeah, but I figure we can get through basic character introduction and the party can meet, as
Yes.
it were.
Yes.
Dolls.
Because I think I'll learn best. I'm not a great.
I'm gonna-
Did
Basketball player.
did we get a name for your Vesk?
I named him Brutus.
Brutus.
After the lizard man in brute force.
Hello, I'm Brutus.
Okay, this is, again, it's going to take me a few tries, so let's go character names once around the table.
Brutus.
Meatball Magi.
Jeff.
Dresden.
Resden,
Batman.
Batman.
Alright, man.
Okay, Brutus, Meatball Magi. I'm probably just gonna say Meatball most of the time.
That's fine.
Friends call her Meatball.
No one
Jeff.
calls me Meatball.
Dresden, and
And
Batman.
no one will call me Meatball.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna warn you. The voice may change a little bit over time as I play around with things.
Dresden.
Hey.
You
Really
wake
went out
up.
on a limb there.
You wake up from a pretty decent rest.
Breast?
Yes, absolutely.
Hell yes.
You wake up.
Misogynist
You are sitting
Meatball Manta.
in a nice, high-backed cushioned chair, and a tone sounds from the speakers around you. It says, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen aboard Shuttle Okimoro. We are now 2 hours out from Absalom Station. We hope you've enjoyed your flight with us. Please, at this time, make sure all of your personal belongings are in order. We will be docking in approximately 2 hours' time, and at that point, if your customs forms are ready to go, we will be ready to disperse you into Absalom Station quickly and smoothly. Thank you once again for flying the space shuttle Okimoro." Bing bong.
Okie dokie.
So you're essentially
Okimura.
on a commuter shuttle at this point.
Cop-
This thing doesn't go faster than light. It's travel purely within the galaxy. You've been riding on this thing for about 4 days. Because spaceflight still
Fuck.
takes a while. Thankfully, they feed you, you can sleep on this thing. But, you're in coach. You don't have a private cabin or anything. You're essentially... Imagine yourself on an intercontinental flight that lasts 4 days.
That
So,
sucks.
it sucks tremendously, but after outfitting yourself for this new job, it's about all you could afford.
Seems good.
So, on your left, you're like second from the end of the aisle. There's another
I don't even
human-
get a window seat? The
Nope.
fuck?
On your left, there is another human who's watching what looks like an educational video on his datapad. It's according to the title, the big flashy title. It is "The Mysteries of the Starstone." On your right, there is there's a Vesk who has he's kind of snoring a bit because Vesk are big and loud. He looks like he's a Vesk. He's muscular as hell. He's intimidating. He's easily a foot taller than you. He's still dozing. He looks like kind of your basic. He looks like he's got a background maybe in mining or mercenary work.
Nice role playing there.
Yeah. But you should be landing on Absalom Station in about 2 hours. Actually, since that tone went off, probably you woke up too. Because if it's not clear, that's you. Not Jeff, it's
Brutus.
Brutus, that's right. So, you're not obligated to strike up a conversation with the stranger next to you on the space bus, but...
I look at him. That's about it. Just look him up and down.
He's big.
He's been sitting next to me for the past
for the
couple
past
of days.
3 days.
And it's like,
You smell funny.
well,
Hygiene kit.
Couldn't afford it.
nobody said it.
I bought 2 pistols.
One pistol. I returned the other
Necessarily
one.
going to be particularly friendly.
Yeah, we are wary of each other. I feel is more like than anything. But besides that, I'm keeping most
Sure.
of it to myself.
Okay, so you guys keep to yourself. While you're kind of like, checking your shit over, making sure your customs forms are in order, the partition from one section to the next, there's multiple coach sections, so the one in front of you is just going to be more coach passengers. And people have come down the aisles to stretch their legs countless times during this flight, because you're on this damn thing for 4 days. But the door opens, and something comes through that is... And you're interested in, like, weird life forms, and this is not anything you've seen before. At all. It appears to be an animated pot of meatballs on robotic legs with, like, a face etched onto the front of the container of meatballs. You're not... the meatballs glisten as if they could be actually real meatballs, and none of this makes sense to you. You've studied xenobiology, and this makes zero amount of sense.
Except when I walk down the stairs with each steps, the meatballs jiggle. And
But it appears to be
tempted.
walking not just to stretch its legs, because who knows if its legs even have muscles that need stretching.
You don't need muscles if
But,
you got this belly.
do you have a mysticism score? Or
Do
any
I-
ranks in mysticism?
I have no ranks in
Okay,
mysticism.
well then I will not give you any additional information about what this meatball is doing.
Hey man, are you hungry?
Just to explain what it is that
What
you're
happens when you
doing,
touch the meatballs?
not to railroad you too much, but I thought it might be a nice opening touch for you. As a Desnan, walking a new path every day and exploring is important to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the last time you're going to be on this ship, so you figured you'd give it the full once and back.
Okay.
Hey, are those real?
All real, baby.
Excuse me. May I
Okay.
ask, who are you?
Oh yeah, I mean we know you're a human, but describe yourself. Humans come in many colors
Many
and sizes.
many colors and
shapes.
sizes. Yes. He's been around for a while. It took a number of years for Dresden to master the study of the Solarian, and he's probably in his mid to late 30s.
Okay.
Older, kind of older guy, not like decrepit, but he's been
Sure.
around for a bit.
And with the advent of modern medicine and technology, humans easily live like 100 or better.
Okay, great. So we'll say he's in 50. He's been around for a bit then.
Okay.
So he's seen some stuff.
Okay.
He's learned some things.
But he's never seen a walking meatball.
But he's literally never
Yeah.
seen a
No,
walking meatball.
this is new.
And he respectfully tries to engage her them in conversation. God
Poke your eye hole.
Life is full of mysterious things.
I would agree. And I wish to know a little bit more about you. May I inquire where you are from?
I think he's flirting with you.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Dismantle the narrative of which you think of homes, and you will find your truth.
Damn.
I look at her. I look
That's
at
fucking
her.
deep for
I
some
look at the
meatballs.
meatballs and I'm like fucking confused.
I have to be going. This has been pleasant. Have a great day.
Depends on your definition of pleasant.
Yes, quite.
So that happened.
So that happened.
Fucking Yoda meatballs. Okay, so there's three of us.
That's about all I got.
Yep. A few rows behind you, you hear a couple of people arguing. The nature of the argument appears to be over the fact that one of them could swear they had more snacks.
You
than
stole my
they-
snacks!
Not you.
I'm
But-
helping add
yeah.
the voice.
Essentially, like, yeah,
Background noise.
someone is like, I had 5 pudding cups and I'm only seeing 3 here. What the fuck, man?
You don't even like tapioca.
Being
That
chaotic,
was
good,
my
I'm gonna go
favorite
try and solve
flavor.
this problem.
It's about the
Okay.
principle.
So,
Wait,
the argument,
am I between him and the aisle?
yes.
Fuck.
Ha!
Yeah, well, you're in the way.
So
I'm gonna have to go check this
I
out.
have to get up to let
Yeah,
him through.
and the guy next to you who's like trying to watch his video is like, I mean, because he's in the aisle seat and you're flying on this thing for 4 days. He's had to get up 1,000 times.
You need to move.
Yeah, he gets up.
I'm getting up.
He makes his usual
The
grumbles.
space berry flavors were so expensive.
So you go back there,
Yep.
and the argument appears to be between a pair of Yashoki.
Okay.
You are being accused of stealing some of the other rats' pudding. Now, whether that's true, I'm going to leave up to you. But he noticed he's missing some pudding, and he's putting that on you.
Okay.
He's accusing me?
Yes.
Game mechanics question?
Yeah.
Will intimidate, like, make somebody hostile, or can I do it in a situation like this where it won't necessarily lead to fighting?
I mean, a failed intimidate in this particular setting, like if this guy pulls a gun on you on a space bus, 1,000 passengers are probably going to tear him apart.
Okay. So it's a non-confrontational
Like it'll
intimidate.
make him pissed off at you, but it will not lead to you immediately getting shot in
So
the
I'm
face.
gonna lead and ask, like, hey, what's going on, man?
Okay. And he's like, this little pudding sucker stole my fucking tapioca.
First of all, if a pudding's actually good, you don't need to suck pudding. You eat it with a utensil. Second of all, tapioca's disgusting. Third of all,
Looking at you, I bet you could suck some pudding real good.
Whoa, whoa.
what? Red light. Wait, hang
Yeah,
on.
this Yoshoki does not have much social grace.
You're kidding.
All right, did you steal the pudding or not?
No.
You
why
suck
would
that.
tapioca
Okay,
is
Did you,
suck tapioca?
out of
That's
character,
gross.
did you in fact steal this pudding?
Of course.
Oh, okay, so roll bluff.
Of
Roll a
course.
bluff check. And you
Good
roll a
pudding.
sense motive check.
I suck pudding real good. 16 plus
Plus.
17.
You only, I thought you had more. What's your charisma score?
Oh, do I add that too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
it's a
you-
class skill.
So you get lots of bonuses.
You have like +6 to bluff.
So you
I
get
rolled an 11.
This whole.
Okay, so
And bluff?
you believe
Bluff is.
that.
All right.
So bluff.
So
You
I
add your charisma and you add your class skill.
look
so
at the
class
other
is
Yoshoki and I
Yeah.
say,
How
okay,
do
then
you
what's the
class
problem?
it?
She didn't take it.
three,
You lost your
these
pudding.
are
Life
check.
goes on.
Oh.
Yeah, she did. She's
Um,
full of it. Full of pudding.
And
There's
Points
nothing
are-
more to see here.
And that's
She
an
said
extra?
she didn't, so
yeah.
So
So
no problem.
22.
Go buy some more pudding.
22.
You'll be just
is what
fine.
Buy it where? What am I gonna walk out the airlock?
We'll be there shortly.
You big dumb lizard.
I'm gonna roll intimidate.
Okay.
Oh, that's an 8.
Yeah, the Yoshoki does not look scared of you. What are you gonna do? The flight security will be all over your stupid scaly ass.
Yeah, I'd like to see him try. There's nothing more to accomplish here. Like, there's no pudding for you to get back, so what's worth arguing about?
I'm just sitting back here watching the entire thing
Sure.
unfold.
Can I convince you to take a bite of one of the meatballs and see what will happen?
He's like, meatballs where? And he looks and he
I'm
does
curious.
a double take. What?
Love
Fuck is now he's lost all interest in the. He is now fascinated
By the
by
meatballs.
the animated
It looks pretty good,
meatballs.
right? They
I'm
wiggle?
sure
when
we
they
can
walk?
buy more pudding
Oh, no.
when we land in a matter of a few hours. We've made it through a few days of space travel. We'll be fine for another couple minutes.
I wanted to eat pudding now.
I also think
Oh.
I saw a Shoki at the end of the plane, at the end of the cabin, and he looked like he had pudding. on his
Roll
face.
bluff. Because you're lying to this man.
Like a 5 plus 5. I think it's a 10.
It's 11.
Okay. 5
mean,
plus
no-
5 is 10. 1, 1, 2, 3. And a,
No, you have a
wait,
7.
3 and a 1. I had a
Quick
5.
maths.
Right.
but Bluff,
You have 1 rank, 3 from the class skill, and 2 from charisma.
So 5
6
plus 6 is
total.
11.
Yeah.
11.
Yeah, you should fill all that stuff out so you have
Oh,
this.
so
But
classes. Wait,
So
3?
it's sort of like
yeah, but on an 11, given that this guy clearly is not the sharpest knife in the drawer, he goes, ooh, and he
Okay.
scampers over the back of the
these
seat,
points.
over the passenger behind him, like to not bother leaving through the
So
aisle, and heads
you only
that
get
way.
the class bonus if
You,
have a
sir,
rank.
Jeff,
Jeff.
you were trying to sleep
Ma'am.
and, huh?
It's ma'am.
Ma'am.
Really? Oh.
You slept through the announcement about landing, but a Yoshoki literally just climbed over your face. And now you're
And then
awake.
it's whatever your ability is, and it tells you.
And there is another Vesk in the aisle, like about my distance to Tyler at this point,
If you have a.
who's
rank,
kind of like
you get
trying
the
to strong arm what looks like a Yoshoki in the seat in front of you.
How long have I been awake?
About 3 seconds.
I think I'm just gonna let this shit happen. I've been on a plane. I'm tired.
All right.
Fair
It's
enough.
just crawling over me. It's just a little rat. Vesker used to rats. No big deal.
Okay.
Sure.
So we've had a moment for you each to realize the other exists. Is kind of the core function here. Anything else, or do you all just kind of go back to your seats at this point?
I
fall back
finished
to
the
sleep.
tapioca.
Ha!
I
While
am-
this Vesk is standing here, or do you wait for him to leave?
Go elsewhere.
Okay.
I don't like being next to lizards anyway.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
They smell bad.
You smell
All right.
people.
I taste the air. Each one of my
It's like taste
Pores,
the
your
rainbow.
meatballs.
pores is
So,
both a taster
Roughly
and a
2
smell.
hours later,
Mm-hmm.
As he walks by me to
Yeah.
just sit down, nice job.
Thanks, man. I'll try.
so about an hour and 45 minutes later, out the windows, you can now see Absalom Station, the jewel at the center of the Pact World system. Absalom Station is a relatively compact space station. It's about 5, well, as space stations go, it's large, but as inhabited systems go, it's small. It's about 5 miles in diameter, but it's also very tall. It's, you know, kind of like Deep Space Nine. Here, I've got a picture of it in here somewhere. But, yeah, here's Absalom Station.
Okay.
Now, about 2 million people live here. And another probably 1 million come and go every day. Absalom Station is notable for 2 important reasons. One, it's the surrogate home of humans in this system. More humans live in Absalom Station than have settled on any other planet. And the reason for that, A, is because their original planet is missing, but B, I mentioned drift travel earlier. Absalom Station functions around something called the Starstone reactor that guy was watching a video about earlier. Not only does it power the station, it is the most powerful drift beacon in the known universe. No matter where you are in the drift, even if you are countless light years away, you've gone traveling from system to system, your ship can always find the beacon at Absalom Station and be there in under a week.
So the fact that this took 4 days for us to get here,
I mean,
We're broke.
honestly,
It's lame.
taking FTL travel from within this system might have taken just as long. I mean, drift travel, even if you're going within the same system, it would probably have taken 1 to 3 days instead of 4. So it wouldn't be a huge savings of time. But, as such, whenever any ship warps back into the Pact Worlds, this is where they wind up, and so it is the biggest trading post in this galaxy. Yeah, there's Absalom Station. Where's this from?
Tate Internet.
Art station. I just Google imaged.
Yep,
It's
well,
pronounced Artstazione.
but yeah, that's it. So you see this, and
That
for a
IT.
lot of you, this is probably your first time here. It's the big city, as it were, in terms of interstellar travel, and it's kind of exciting. But you dock in one of these extended areas called the Arms. And that's where the docking bays are, and these sort of outward spikes. Knowing what, I mean, you've all heard of Absalom Station. It's impossible to be in this galaxy and not know about it. The Arms are kind of the foreign quarters because it's where all of the, new races land, and a lot of them just settle right there. So there's, like, the Vesk Quarter is in one of those Arms. There's a neighborhood called the Puddles, where underwater-dwelling races have established an enclave. There's an area called Fogtown, where races that live on gas giants have adapted. But the center of it, this domed area, that's the rich part of town. It's called the Eye. And if you work for a megacorporation or you are an important government official, that's probably your neighborhood. Down here is the Spike, and that's the industrial quarter and also kind of the slums. Now, again, this is functionally a floating city with 2 million people, so it has its own government, its own crime problems, its own economy. But, I mean, if you want, who here has a cultures score? Anyone? Does anyone have rank in cultures? Okay.
Nope.
Go ahead and roll it.
I rolled
I
my
have
20
a-
sided
I
one.
have
Yeah,
rank
roll your
thing.
d20 and add your cultures score.
So 15 plus my total culture
Yeah.
score, 6, 21.
So 21, you actually know or have studied or read a pretty good deal about this place. You know that the current, basically president of Absalom Station, the prime executive, is a woman by the name of Melacruz, is her last
You
name.
get that.
She's been in power maybe 5 years. She's pretty popular, but there are a number of factions on the station who are not a big fan of her because she's very pro-immigration and she's pro-resource distribution. Her platform is that because the Starstone reactor functionally provides Absalom Station with unlimited power and allows them to undertake things like hydroponic agriculture and, dome farms, things that on any other planet would be prohibitively expensive without huge power resources. Absalom Station has enough resources to feed anyone within its walls, and she has pledged that no one will go hungry on her watch.
Social welfare capitalism.
Pretty much. Now, if you're poor, you might only get like those field rations, that gross nutritional paste, but at least you're not gonna go hungry.
Or tapioca.
Yeah. Anyway, you land in one of the arms, and the shuttle crew, thanks you, and you all start disembarking. And you get into line to go through customs. So, who of you gets up first? Alright. So you walk up. Customs is there's a human, and you can see there's a decent security detail here. There's a human and there's a Lashunta wearing powered armor, just kind of overseeing the docking bay. And the human in an Absalom Station uniform, got a data pad. Name?
Dresden.
All right. Where are you coming from? You don't if you don't know the name, you can just say I tell him the truth.
I tell the truth versus.
All right. Are you meeting someone here? Do you have business?
I'm meeting Juvor Creel, being hired to work on the StarFinder Society.
Okay, so you guys who are in line, he just said Duravor Creel out loud. And you all know that's who you're here to meet. So take that as you will. The guy says, alright, are you carrying any other organisms or foreign agriculture that we should know about?
The ball of light kind of just hovers here.
And he kind of elbows the Lashunta, and he's, hey, it's one of these guys. And the guy's like, oh, cool. What does it do?
I have it materialized into it looks like standard shimmering combat armor.
Cool. And, a couple people, stop and look. And he's like, alright, you can be on your way.
Okay.
Alright, who's next?
I'll go next.
Alright. Name?
Brutus.
Where are you coming from, sir?
The Viscarium.
I see. Military service?
Aye.
Alright. You understand that while you're on Absalom Station, you are allowed to carry personal weapons, but you are to keep them under control in public areas.
I'm always under control.
Okay? You do understand that this is not the Vescari... he's being kind of a prejudicial dick right now, if it's not clear. You do understand that Absalom Station does have a Vest quarter, and while you are fully within your rights to travel other areas, you will be judged by our own laws and not those of the Vescarium.
Yeah, I read the book.
Alright, what business do you have here?
I'm seeing the Creole dwarf guy.
Are you just saying that, or is that because that guy said it?
No, I'm going to join the Starfinders as well, but Mr. Glowy Armor seems pretty cool too.
Alright, you can go.
Mr. Glowy Armor.
Did you call him a Creole?
Creole dwarf guy.
Alright, who's next?
I'll go.
Alright,
I'm gonna attempt to just keep walking and send him a telepathic message that says this guy's fine, don't worry about him. But
Okay.
there will be a missive in there. But there's a rat who's kind of smells like pudding. Not Batman.
Okay. You're sending them a telepathic message. How? Is this a spell you have?
Yeah, it's a 0 level spell.
Which one?
Telepathic message.
Oh, and that just lets you
Literally.
that just lets you just give someone a message.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm gonna attempt to not stop and just walk right
okay,
through.
the second you make you're gonna walk right by them, the two dudes in powered armor move in front of you and move like they're gonna raise their rifles. Sir, step back.
Did they not get my message? Did they not?
Clearly the dude in front did, but the guards are still no.
I'm not gonna attempt to stop, but I'm gonna send the message to the two guys who are about to raise their rifles.
And
I'm just standing back now.
they look at each
like,
other and they go, "That's a funny trick, but customs is custom. Step the fuck back." They're not playing around, these guys.
I'll just say I'm just here
Fucking tell him.
for exploring the galaxy.
Fucking lizard
Cool.
thinks he's all hot shit.
Let's explore your forms first. How about that, sir?
You go on the explorer's form.
Yellow
Pay for
light.
that.
I'm the heckler in the back.
Clearly they take this seriously.
I guess I have forms that I received from the flight that
Alright.
I will present.
Alright, name?
So on the form, it's Jeff.
Alright. What business do you have here, Jeff?
Just exploring the galaxy.
Okay. What other parts of the galaxy were you exploring before this?
Just all over Brest Prime and planets in Brest, but I wanted to explore human space.
Given that you tried to walk by them, they are now they're giving you the third degree. Like, they're pissed at you now. Like, you're not getting the full body cavity, but, like, these guys are, like, at this point, now they want to check your stuff.
I'll let them see my stuff.
Okay.
That's what they want to look at.
Do you, I mean,
Jeff and
what are
all
you
his
carrying in
glory.
total?
I'm carrying, some grenades. Some hacking supplies. Totally innocuous hacking supplies.
Are any of these in your secret compartment?
No, I don't have any secret compartments. They're
Oh no,
all
that's
in-
him.
No, he has one secret compartment.
But they're gonna
Well.
explore his form, so you know.
It wouldn't be a secret if you told.
And I've got 93 credits.
Like, they're looking over the fact that you have a hacking kit and are armed with grenades, and they're clearly not real thrilled that you're here. And it looks like they're debating whether or not to actually let you into the station at this point.
Because you had to tell them telepathically what your business
Like,
was.
your first point of order in showing up was to try to walk through customs and telepathically tell them, hey guys, it's cool.
Fucking ding dong.
So, how do you want to play this?
I'm just kind of sitting here silently as they look at my stuff.
Alright, well, you're now being detained.
Dummy.
So they...
If you guys want some out of character stuff on this, I have really low charisma, and I
Yeah, and I'm
don't
glad you're
understand
playing
other
that
cultures.
straight.
You're good.
Oh!
I'm not just doing this to be stupid.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
like, I'm glad that you're playing this straight. I appreciate that.
I'm
but they are pulling you
notice
to...
this going on and
Okay.
go back to customs real quick and be like, look guys, he's a little slow and he doesn't get it, and I get that you don't like us particularly, but I'll keep an eye on him.
Do you know this?
That's racist, but
I would have asked for anyone who showed up to vouch for him. What's your relationship to this individual?
I understand the plight that he goes through being a Vesk in a populated space like this, and I understand the intricacies of culture a little better than he does. Like I said, he's a little slow, but I'll vouch for him.
Roll diplomacy.
11.
Total?
Yep.
Okay. And they look like they're at least calming down a bit. Like, you haven't fully won them over, but they're listening to you. It's a start.
Okay.
They say, well, this gentleman is carrying a number of highly suspicious, potentially contraband items, and I'm not really sure that we can let him aboard.
I would see two options here. One, my items are significantly larger than his. I feel like I can keep him in check. Worst case scenario, would you guys be comfortable with confiscating part of it and letting him aboard? Like maybe taking the hacking kit and letting him go along. If the grenades fall into the same category as any personal weapons.
What's your charisma score?
Like,
Zero.
what kind of
Or
grenades
10.
are the grenades?
Frag grenades and smoke grenades.
What is
Okay.
my -2? What's charisma?
Tell you what, Surf, turn over those frag grenades and we'll let this slide.
It's like all my inventory. Okay, so I'm trying to think of like what my character would do.
Please.
Super intelligent, really bad social skills. I guess I'll just say like these are not used for in populated areas. I only use them for self-defense. They're also really expensive, and I don't want to give them away if
So
I
he
can.
understands the rules.
Okay, like, are you telling the truth on that? Like,
Yeah.
okay, roll diplomacy.
Well, that's not going to go well. 20. Yep, 0 and 0. Yep.
Wait. Oh.
And roll a 1.
Okay, no, they won't let you keep the grenades.
Critical miss.
Just give up the grenades, man.
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone.
Not worth it.
Here's my 16 frag grenades I spent all my money on.
Did you seriously? No wonder they're fucking upset with you. Who walks into the big city armed with a fucking military cache of grenades?
You should have just told them they were eggs, man. They're not very bright.
Alright, you have lost your grenades, but they let you through at
You
least.
said just the frag grenades, right?
Correct, you can
Okay.
keep the smokes.
Okay.
Alright,
I'm next and I'm in stitches. That's so funny.
Alright.
Take a look at that guy.
And, and they, at this point they're like back to neutral position.
Wait.
Name.
Batman.
Name.
What's that this one?
Ma'am, did I stutter? Kidding.
Like, you just saw them give this guy the 3rd degree, so you know they're not going to fuck around.
Is 0.
Fine.
So this is
Oh, actually, before I go too much further,
kinda
we
mixed up.
never actually established who speaks what language. Let's do that quickly. Who
Everybody
here has a
speaks-
positive intelligence score?
You have +2.
So +2. What?
One.
+1. +1. Okay, so
I
you
was
speak
plus
2 extra
4.
languages.
Jess has
Damn.
4.
Oh, Jesus.
I also speak with animals for free.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, that's its own thing.
So, can I see?
Do I count?
No, you're
You're
a people.
not eminal.
Well,
You are
So-
eminal-like.
Yeah.
the lizards would disagree because they treated me like one.
Hey, look, that's not my fault. Don't lump me in with those cold-blooded freaks.
Okay, they're getting what they're coming from them, or what's coming for them when they're 16.
Okay, so the prevalent languages of the universe, probably the ones you are more likely to speak, we established that there's common, there's Yashoki, so if you've ever spent a lot of time with them, that might be an option.
Sweet.
Again, you're picking 4, you're picking 2, you're each picking 1, right? You get 1 for whatever your mod is. There's Vesk, I mean, obviously you already speak that. There's Versite, if you're from Verses, that seems like a
Yeah.
likely choice.
Yeah, it seems like the.
There's Triaxion, which there's another planet called Triaxis. It's a very technological world. There's Shirin,
Row,
which is the
disability
bug
mod,
speak.
Or like when you say like.
There's Kasatha. They
charisma
have their
modifier.
own language,
That's
the
this
4-armed
column versus
folks.
modifier.
Aoxian,
So if you
there's
roll
a
something
planet
like the
called
diplomacy
Aox.
where
It's
you
real
roll
unlikely
with
you've been
charisma,
there,
you just
been
add
there
0
or
to it.
speak it.
So you're not taking any
Castravalian,
penalties 'cause
which
you're
is the
kind of-
language spoken by the Lashunta and also other. That's a
multi-talented.
nearby planet with a lot of universities.
Are
That's
they technologically advanced?
oh yeah,
What was his name?
Castravalian. The world is called Castravel, and the Lashunta and the elves live there.
Is Vesk an option?
Yeah, Vesk is absolutely an option. You could, I mean, yeah, if you're from the Veskarium, of course
Yeah.
you'd speak Vesk.
You can make
There's
sense.
Brethaden. Bretheda is a gas giant world, so a lot of
You should be
freaky
yeah.
flying creatures live there.
Oh, is your own.
Her bonus to int is only 1.
One.
Yeah.
I rolled an intelligence.
Aklo, which is there's a creepy underground world full of scary underground monsters. Akatonian. Akaton is a nearby planet with a sort of native human population. It used to be a big mining town, and now it's basically economically destroyed.
Rip.
Other less common languages are Abyssal, if you talk to demons a lot, that's a thing. Orin, if you talk to air elementals, that's a deal. Celestial, if you talk to angels, they have a language. Draconic, if you know a lot of dragons. I don't know. I haven't lived your life.
You
Dwarven.
don't know me.
Dwarves have their own language. Elven, gnome, halfling, goblin,
Can you speak meatball?
orc.
Pastafarian.
I was thinking Jersey
Yeah,
Shore.
those are some of the more sensical choices.
Well played.
So just
Tentacle choices.
so you speak Vesk in addition. You speak
Versite.
Versite.
I
You
speak Best Common, Yashoki, Triaxis, Kasatha, and Castravali.
very
You
nice.
Speak Yashoki?
Yes.
Shit.
Because I've lived with a bunch of rats.
And Meatball, what do you speak?
I mean,
That's
how
the
many?
rats, right?
how does he get so many?
Because he has a
His
huge
intelligence score is
intelligence
very high.
bonus.
Well, what's my intelligence
That's
bonus?
You said it was
2.
2.
So I speak to animals, I can speak to demons, and I can speak to angels.
Okay. Celestial
Well, you get-
and
Well, no, you get one more.
Abyssal.
No. She picked.
I
So
get 2.
animals is natural. So she gets +2. That's abyssal and celestial.
Right, but she has her.
And she has common.
Oh.
She's an android, so she doesn't have a racial language. Anyway, so after repeating, the customs officer says in Yashoki, seriously, what's your name?
Oh, I tell him my Yashoki name.
Okay. And he goes back to common, and he says, and where are you coming from?
Vesprine.
Alright, what business did you have there?
Visiting my family.
Is that true?
Well, I was raised by.
Like, I'm
So.
out of character, I'm asking if you're
Yeah.
telling the truth on this.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay.
Because I saw what happened to that fucker, so hell no.
Right.
I was gonna pull some shit, but not
Alright.
anymore.
Are you importing anything from Vest Prime? Agriculture, technology?
Nope.
Alright. And what's your business on Absalom Station?
Tourism.
I mean, that's a lie, right?
Yes.
Like, you're here for a job, so go ahead and roll bluff. You should have a pretty good score. Yeah, you have +6. Oof.
9 total.
Alright.
This is
I
okay.
mean,
we're
it's
getting all
still
our
it's
bad
still
rolls out before
believable.
combat.
So he's like, all right, move along, and finally you toddle up in line, and the guy's like,
I should have said the pudding industry.
and he looks around to see if
Hey,
anyone is obviously holding a remote control.
No remote here.
I'm in stitches laughing.
I'm sorry. What are you?
I am a meatball magi. You might recognize me from some of the, programming you might have seen on your personal.
Oh yeah, what is the nature of your celebrity?
I was just a content creator. I did a lot of vlogging. I also did some online gaming, and then I moved into
Can meet
personal cams, as I call them. As
Personal
you
cam?
can tell,
It's
I'm
a
very
ball cam.
attentive.
Site.
A lot of people like to watch.
And
My free meatballs.
and he's just kind of staring at you, and like one of the dudes in the powered armor goes like, "Hey, that's Meatball Magi! Holy hell, man!
So nice to see my fans.
Hey guys, this is that meatball who does magic. Hey, do something."
I
Do a level 0 spell.
do a level 0 spell, which is telekinetic projective, and I make something move.
And he's like, "Ah, hey, could I selfie?"
Yeah.
So he like clunks over in his big heavy armor and manages to lean enough to get his communicator out. Takes a selfie with you, and the customs officer just looks annoyed and embarrassed at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too.
They have such a chill personality.
Okay. So you're all through customs and you're in
Have a great
Absalom
day.
Station at this point.
Yep.
I decided
I've
multiple
been
personalities.
since getting through just on the move directly to find the
Docking
docking
Bay
bay
94.
94. Yeah.
All right.
I think all of us are on the way. We have our goal.
You just all make a beeline for it.
I'm gonna go buy grenades. I don't have any grenades.
Do you have any dollars?
I do have dollars. I think I could purchase one grenade. That's all I need.
I'm
Can I
following
give
behind
him
you,
my
balls.
dollars?
If you want.
How much?
I mean,
Let me check
you
the
literally
price.
just met this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say, why would you be giving this man your
Never
money?
mind.
No, I mean, feel free.
I'm feeling Desna. She's like,
Yeah,
oh,
no,
you should.
that's 100%
You know?
in keeping with your philosophy.
Well, I can buy, so grenades are 35 credits each.
I think I have 35 left. Let me add my stuff on.
I'm just gonna follow behind meatballs and like try and paw at a swinging like strand of spaghetti and see what happens.
Don't
Okay.
touch me.
So, someone is smacking at your pasta.
Not smacking, daintily
Love
looking.
smacking
Can I
my
help you?
pasta.
Someone's flicking your noodle.
Can I help you?
Oh.
Oh god!
You
Don't
happy?
touch me
Is that what
there.
you wanted?
Someone is flicking
I'm
your.
a tapioca sucker, not a meat noodle sucker.
I'm learning so much
can
about
I
the
help?
world.
Something about
Can I
balls.
help you, little mouse man?
It's Batman. I'm just curious. Don't mind me.
Beef, pork,
Right.
and veal.
You guys can spend the credits to get a grenade on the way. I'll allow that. That's
Okay.
fine.
Thank you.
Are
then.
you giving me your credits?
I need to figure out how much I've spent.
More than you can.
How we looking on chat?
Chat's chill.
Chat's
chill.
They're just they're emojified, normal.
Some copy pasta.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this combination of emotes here.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's always fun to see what people do with the globals.
Horrible, amazing things.
Horrible and amazing.
All right, so we've all made
Okay.
it to the docking
So,
bay.
yes,
In theory, we'll figure out if we have a
roughly
grenade or not.
at around the same time. I mean, just for the sake of convenience and the sake of maybe you stop to ask directions. You've all, and I mean, if you, especially since you stuck around to listen and you guys all heard them in customs, at this point the five of you all know that you're all here to meet Durivor Creel. So, I don't know if you discussed that while en route to the docking bay. It's like 20 minutes away on foot.
Nope.
I'm keeping to myself. I'm separate from the group.
Okay.
I give Jeff a little bit of a hard time and ask if he's gotten into any trouble since customs in the 15 minutes we've been gone.
She says no trouble.
Okay, then I think we go.
I'm keeping a very wide berth from the lizards.
All
But
right.
I'm still staring at the noodles.
So
Last style
The
in
bright-
the appendages.
the brightly lit docks of Absalom Station are abuzz with activity as travelers bustle by,
2 grenades.
I'll give you 7.
preparing to board or disembarking from starships bound to or from any of dozens of worlds. I mean, there's a lot going on, because Absalom Station is the big city, and this is essentially the intergalactic airport that you're in. There are brash and swaggering star pilots, Yashoki scurrying around performing mechanical duties, expectant colonists mingling with enigmatic mystics, hard-faced miners, imposing Vesk mercenaries, and more, creating a small, bay-wide microcosm of the abundance and variety of life that is the Pact Worlds. What are we doing here?
I was just gonna find a picture to see.
Find the cantina in Star Wars.
I urge you not to look up too much because you might stumble across a spoiler. or something.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
this is somewhere else. I don't know where this is. Anyway, new arrivals are meeting friends, loved ones, or business contacts, and each person, as soon as you see them, is whisked away into the humming activity of daily life on this vast space station. Beyond them, ground crews are tending to the docked ships. There are dock workers and mechanized cargo lifters loading and unloading freight and baggage. There's a sharp tang of ozone in the air, which is almost certainly a byproduct of the electrical discharges from the countless docked ships in this bay. The deck plates are kind of humming under your feet, but it's hard to tell whether it's because of the hundreds of footsteps going around and behind you, or just the power conduits going under your feet that you know are ever present. So everyone you've reached Docking Bay 94, everyone go ahead and roll a perception check. Because this is a crowded spot.
Nat 20.
Natural, so what is
20.
20.
20, 25, 20,
Oh, sorry. What am I?
What's your bonus?
perception.
It's wisdom.
25, 18,
2.
20.
13,
Prepare for a 1.
Critical miss.
17.
17, 22, 18. So, like, the high was a 25 and the low was a 13, right? Okay, so as you guys reach the docking bay and you're looking around, in the middle of the crowd, kind of across the docking bay, in between all of the coming and going and working and, waiting people who are there of a dozen different races, through the crowd, you see the familiar shape and face of your friend, Durivor Krill, with that familiar kind of scraggly, kind of grease-stained beard, he's like this tall, he's like 4 feet and change. He's got, sort of, hard, calloused features, but a kind expression, and he's wearing that sort of mechanic suit that he was wearing when he met each of you individually. And he's looking at it. What on earth is happening? Oh, this is the space flight. Okay, okay.
No, and then that's totally durable curveball, or at least my interpretation of.
So
of
he's
floating
looking at a
sport
data pad, and also from across the docking bay, kind of like looking out on the crowd. Now everyone except Jeff. As you're watching him, and you see Durivor Krill, and he looks up, and it looks like he's seen you, and he lowers his data pad, and he's starting to wave. Like, you're seeing this. The other 4 of you are noticing that on the fringes of the docking bay, there's like 3 or 4 dudes over here, and 3 or 4 dudes over here, who look like they're kind of out of place. They don't look like docking bay workers, but they're kind of going among the freight and baggage and machinery. And they're moving really kind of furtively and taking up, well, you've got a military background. They look like they're taking up defensive positions. And Durivor Krill, meanwhile, is across the docking bay. Over here! Come on!
Roll initiative.
So, like kind of triangular position there on either side, and Duravor's on
Like-
the far end.
If this is the docking bay,
Hypothetically.
this is the back. If Duravor's here and you guys are entering here, these guys are sneaking in among these crates and barrels and these pieces of loading equipment.
I'm reasonably fast, so I'm gonna hustle over to the closest group and introduce myself and see what's
So-
going on.
You move. The problem is the docking bay is loaded with people.
Sure.
It's a huge crowd, but you see this problem, and you guys see like what's going on back there. But your new friend, I don't know if that counts for you guys yet, is moving to like disperse the crowd and get through there. And Duravor like looks at you like he's not sure why you're doing that, and that's when the shooting starts. And we are just about at time, so on that cliffhanger.
Dun dun dun!
You have to go.
I mean, I have like
Meh,
10 minutes.
We're not going to do anything significant in the next
Okay.
10 minutes.
Okay. Wow.
Yay!
Fortunately, I still have my armor on from when I
I
showed
do
it to
too.
them.
I am ready to go.
No, I have my magic armor
I'm
on.
hiding
Oh.
behind the meatball.
Hiding
What did you guys think?
That's awesome.
It's a
You
good
look
start.
good.
It's always nice to leave on a cliffhanger that people are ready to go next time.
You
Well,
should
speaking
come.
of which-
I like that the
What
group
is
was
next
like,
time?
what is his role playing skill? What is this guy doing? You guys.
Hmm.
I'll show you how to fuck up
Speaking of
Christmas
next time,
scores.
when do we want to do this next?
I mean, I think are we all available?
I mean, I know we want to aim for like every other Wednesday, but it's 2 Wednesdays from now. I think that's Thanksgiving.
No, 2 Wednesdays from now is the 15th. Oh, sorry,
No.
no, that's next week. It is I won't be here.
Well, we
Can
can't
we,
do it
can
next
we do
Wednesday?
next week?
I'm happy to do it next week. That's why I'm saying we might want
Yeah.
to do it next
I
instead of 2
can do
weeks
it next
from now.
next
I'm
Wednesday.
Let me just
available.
double check my schedule, but I'm pretty sure I'm available.
Okay, I've got something.
I have
Tuesday, Thursday,
literally
Friday.
nothing going on that night.
Also, good lord, did you buy
Next week
anything?
on D&D,
Apparently,
I
not.
get to use at least 4 of my grenades.
How many did you buy?
16. It was like most of my money.
No, how much?
did you
How many
lose?
did you
16.
keep?
0. But I had to buy 4 more.
So you have 4 now total.
Gracious gift of the meatball lord.
Okay.
I have
Yeah, I should be
4
available Wednesday the 15th if you
fraggles.
guys are down for that.
The
Okay,
meatball magi.
we are.
But yeah, congratulations on having your characters up and running, and I hope the story was not too lore heavy, and at least I hope the lore was interesting to you that you want to get into it,
Definitely.
Yeah.
and I hope that I GM'd to your satisfaction.
I'm ready to
Indeed.
fucking kill something.
Ready to destroy.
Okay, round.
My armor is shiny. That's what I got right
Oh,
now.
did you just send one too?
Yeah.
Oh my bad. I booked the room. Whoopsies.
Round of applause for the awesome DM.
Aw,
Cap a clap clap and chat.
unnecessary because I haven't like actually done much yet, but
Hey, you got
Also,
us through the
props
creation,
to the group
you got us
and
through the lore.
mostly Jeff for getting through the first encounter that could have possibly ended in death, which was going through customs. Never
Why
thought
was
was
that
gonna
the
result-
the
almost
only
death
reason that could have
scenario.
ended in death is because of your own actions, honestly.
Yes. But welcome to roleplay.
Well done, sir.
No,
Well played.
I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did, and I'm ready to kick it off next week.
Are you
Hey.
gonna be informal wear next
Yeah.
week also?
No, I was in court this morning.
Oh, that's right. For
Someone
your,
pointed it out in
gonna
chat,
ask.
and I can't unsee it, but because the camera's not picking up all the texture, you look like a referee.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you see when Nick did his Hot Wings challenge? I was his ref.
Yes.
Oh dear.
I was also explaining that we were
Okay.
talking about weird behavior previously when Nick was playing the rogue and just tried to have sex with everything.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, he managed it a couple times.
Oh,
He managed it a couple
He was
times.
non-discriminatory.
y'all nasty.
Well, kind of the best, to my mind, execution of that was not the sex, obviously, but they did this this module where they were snowed in at this monastery and there was a murder mystery.
Nice.
Like, everyone's trapped here and someone is the killer kind of a situation.
And Nick just tries to sleep with everyone.
That
Well,
was
no, but
Renee was really good at sleeping with everyone,
Oh,
and Nick
yeah.
just tried.
well, but they came across this thief woman who'd been hiding out. She was in the infirmary and the clerics had been treating her because it's a monastery and
Yeah.
that's their deal. And they'd be like, no, don't disturb that woman. She needs her rest. But they went in and found that she was a thief they'd been tracking for a few days. Like,
Nice.
they had a report of some stolen goods and she had them.
Yeah.
But, like, she swore up and down that she'd been bedridden and was not the killer. Turned out she wasn't. but everything started going to shit piece by piece, like you do in a tense murder mystery. And Nick and the thief woman had she was like, I'm so scared, I need some comfort, and he was like, well, come into my arms. And that was the whole thing. And then finally, when the killer finally hatched his master plan, which was to let a shit ton of skeletons into the monastery to kill everyone, and they were going from room to room, killing off demons and skeletons and ghouls, she's being savaged by a ghoul, and the group throws it off of her and kills it, and she's like half dead. And Nick goes down to get her, and she's like, I knew you would come for me. And he says, I go for the fist bump. And that was him dumping her. It was,
I go for the fist.
yeah, she reached up to caress his face.
I'm trying to find
and
somebody
he
to
was
raid.
like, right back at you, sport. What's up?
Kyle's using new features.
Of what?
Tabletop playing.
Oh, you mean the office channel?
So now that
I think
everyone's
it's still
character
streaming.
sheet
They might
is...
be done actually, but
Before I forget, now that everyone's character sheet is really all the way done,
Yeah.
now would be a
Picture.
great time to make a copy or take a photo or do whatever it is to have
do
a
that
backup.
voodoo that you do
Yeah.
so well.
And if you want to make a photocopy, I'm happy to take it with me. I'm whatever it takes.
And just for kind of context for non-D&D folks, leveling up and getting your new stuff usually takes all of 5 or 10 minutes per person, versus
Yeah.
character creation usually takes a few
Yeah,
hours.
especially because for a lot of you, this is your first character creation. Future character creation, now that you know your way through it, takes 10 minutes.
Yep.
Are they still streaming? I don't actually know.
I don't know. I found something great.
Alright, cool. Do your thing.
Kyle, what kind of weapons did you end up with besides grenades, or did you just go grenades?
Just grenades in my claws.
Wow.
Yeah, a Vesk is never unarmed.
Fair.
Vesk is never truly on.
What's your strength mod for your claws?
0.
So,
So, he can still do 1d3.
Yeah.
sure.
That's all you need.
I'm just thinking in terms of 2-hit. It is
Well, if
okay, but not great.
and as a Technomancer, I don't think he has a base attack bonus, so he'd just be at a whatever the 20 shows.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous about this upcoming encounter
I
in a
wouldn't worry about it.
PAX port.
With just grenades.
Well,
With
I
just
also
grenades.
mentioned that that's when the shooting starts.
Yes.
So
But even so, I